again.
And then I told her it was not my ham sandwich. It was the butler's.
Oh!
Oh, that was the funniest joke I've ever heard. Oh,
It's
oh, that was wonderful.
lovely.
I loved
It's
it.
so
I'm sorry.
lovely.
Oh, that was wonderful. Oh, hello, chat room.
Oh, hello, chat room. Are you here? Are you here with us tonight?
At work, we have these, corporate phones or whatever, and one of the ringtones is a lady just going, "Are you there? Are you there?
What?
Are you there? Are you there?" Over and over and over instead of
Oh,
a ringtone. And some stores will set it to that, and it's just it's annoying. You can just change it really easily,
oh, I want to
but
punch somebody. Are you kidding me?
mm-mm,
Oh,
not
I
kidding you.
so want to punch somebody. Like, can you please just throw that away forever and ever, please, please. Hello, folks. We're
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Mark Honan is still waking up. So, the normal thing now whenever we get on Skype is the greeting is wakey wakey, eggs and bakey. But see,
Mm-hmm.
the way I've heard it is not that clean. The way I've
Oh,
heard it
really?
is wakey wakey, hands off snaky.
Wow. Wow. Okay. All righty then.
I know I've told you this before.
Yeah, I think you have
I
now that you've
know I
said it.
have because every time you say
Yeah.
it, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm so tempted to say it the other way. It
Oh man, oh
is
man.
Saturday night. Saturday. Yeah.
I had that stuck in my head earlier today
Oh,
too.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have a show. We
We
have
do.
stuff. We're here. I don't know. It's like it's gonna be mega warm in here because I had to shut the windows because there's like these little kids that are next door. There's 3 little girls that live next door, and all they do the entire day is scream. Like just the play scream, but they're out there going, like it's just
Mm-mm.
this awful screeching.
Mm-mm. No
No,
thanks.
and like so
Mm-mm.
I was home. I was working from home. I was off my job and doing my other stuff on Tuesday this week actually, and I had the windows open because it was really nice out, and those kids were just screaming the entire time, and I'm like, do you ever nap? Like, do you take a nap at all?
Where are your
I
parents?
know. And there's the inevitable daddy, daddy, daddy.
What?
He comes out. What? Didn't you hear me calling you daddy? No. Daddy, I want to go inside. Like, could you just go
No.
inside?
Can you imagine them doing all that inside the house? That's why they're outside.
The other day it was probably last weekend, I think. It was late. It was like 10:30 at night, and there was a big spotlight coming on that side of the house. And because we
Mm.
had like the blinds open, I'm like, what the hell's going on next door? And so I look, and the next door neighbors are cutting wood flooring planks, and they are installing a wood floor at 10:30 at night in their living room because you could see in the window. And they're there, like they're
Yeah.
on their knees, install like they've got a table saw, and I'm like, at 10:30 at night. But they just can't do this without the kids there, with the kids being there, so they have to do it with the kids are asleep.
They have to install
What kind
flooring
of
while the
house
kids
do
are
you?
asleep.
Yeah.
Because they'd walk all over the floor, and we can't have that.
I think about a life like that where you have two like 3 actually tiny little girls, and I would just be like, can I just go away somewhere, please? That's just too much. It's just too much.
Oh man,
Hello, lovely
that
chat
is way too
people.
much.
Hello, lovely chat people. So you folks, you lovely chat folks. Oh wait, before I do this, I have to tweet so that people actually know that we're live, even though they already know I'm live, but we'll do it anyway. We are live twitch.tv Tauren think tank and
Oh, man. The way you said it's like, oh, before that, I've got a tweet. Excuse me, I'll be right back.
I'm like,
Oh, you at least cut the mic first.
oh, I'm sorry.
Jeez.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
We're not that kind of show.
All right, lovely chat room. You guys asked for it, and now you got it. Here's the addition to the chat room. This is the chat room soundboard now. It's what's becoming. This is the latest addition.
But I was gonna bring like a pizza. We're gonna sit and have pizza.
Remember Mr. Migraine from last week?
Mr. Migraine. Hey, yeah, hey, I'm coming back now. I'm just gonna listen to the podcast. I'm not gonna be here. I'll just listen later this week.
Oh, good. Can you just stay there? Just stay out there, because there was no migraine issues this week, so we're good. You can just stay where you are, because I don't want to see you again.
That was when I was down in Florida. It's nice and warm down there.
What's
Down on
in
the beach.
Florida for migraines?
The beach, the ocean.
The beach?
The beach. I mean, seriously, there's like the beach, there's like seashells, and there's seawater, and there's seagulls, and there's seafood. Oh my goodness, the seafood. Like scallops, shrimps, and snow crab legs.
Soft shell crab.
Soft shell crabs.
Why? I want to know that too, Norozap. Why does migraine have a lisp? It's just become this thing now. It's kind of, it's more
Yeah,
thing.
it's just one of those things.
Oh, it is
Yeah.
Sid the Sloth. That was
Sid the
good.
Sloth. It is John Leguizamo with a lisp. Call your mother.
Call your mother. Yes, you
Mhm.
should.
Yep.
Let's see.
All right,
We're
let's
just
see
slowly
here.
adding to the soundboard. It's pretty cool. You may pet my head. Got that one. It's pretty good. It's good stuff.
I almost want to get. I have to tweet.
You want me to capture that one this week? Before I do that, I have to
Maybe.
tweet.
Because then I can have it on my phone for whenever I get a tweet.
Oh,
It's
I'll
like
give that one to you. No problem.
Oh, what is that? What is that? Oh, it's not. It's just my co-host on my phone
Sorry.
telling me she has to tweet.
It sounds like a personal problem, or it sounds like something I
Mhm.
shouldn't do. I should do in private, but I don't.
Yeah, I was like, you should cut the mic for that, and like,
I know.
don't do that.
I need a cough switch. I don't have a cough switch on this microphone. Oh, that's funny.
I was looking for mics, and I saw a couple of the same one you have on eBay for like $220.
That's not a good
And I
price.
was like, that's a good price, but I don't know that I have that much to spare at the moment. So
Yeah.
as soon as Nerdtacular gets squared away, then I'll be looking at possibly getting something.
I tell you, I mean, the microphone that I have is pricey. I know it is, but
Mhm.
it was one of those investments that I knew that if I spent the money, it would last me 20 years. With good care. The microphone like this is never going to go out of vogue. It's a
Mhm.
good workhorse sounding microphone. So it's perfect. And I had so last night when we were doing the stream, I brought the Yeti out and I put it on the desk
Mhm.
and I was using that, and I'm like, yeah, it's not the same. It's just so
Yeah.
not the same.
Yeah.
But
It's a whole different animal.
it is. And it's a good microphone. It's not a bad microphone at all.
Mhm.
It's just when you get used to something else, and you really I love this microphone. It's my fave. So it better be.
It's like a new pair of pants. Like you get, you wear a different pair of pants. You wear your pants, and then you wear a better pair of pants, and then you go back to the old pair of pants. And you're like, this doesn't feel right. It doesn't sit the same way that the new ones do, or the newer ones do. You know.
I didn't think I was putting my microphone on my ass.
I didn't know that we were that kind of show.
I didn't think so either.
So yeah, butt mics.
Butt mics indeed. I swear, you got that going on for you. That's perfect.
Mhm.
Oh, so this is your last week in the hotel where you're staying at for this week, right?
And they switched our. Well, they switched our schedule around, which doesn't affect where I'm going to be at. But for the next probably 3 weeks, I'll be back in the studio.
Ooh.
And by studio, I mean corner of the living room, but familiar location.
Right.
And I have something new to put on the wall that I got in the mail today. So that'll be it. That'll be on the show. I've already let the person know who's. I've already showed it to the person who, yeah. And so you guys will see it next week, unless you're listening on the podcast download, in which case you won't. But because you're listening and not seeing.
Captain Obvious is in the house tonight. How are you, Captain Obvious?
I like those. Have you seen those commercials where a guy is like dressed up? It's for some kind of like, I think it's like
I think it's
hotels.com or something.
hotels.com.
Yeah, he's like, this was a bad hotel choice. Thank you. You're welcome.
And he's dressed like a sea captain.
He is very, highly decorated. And MacGyver's in the house. He said he was going to be here.
In the house, Marconin. We have a MacGyver and a Marconin.
We do.
I hope you're feeling better, Moo. Moo was pretty sick this week.
I saw that.
That was stinky. I was talking to Natani, and she got it too. Poor girl. Poor thing.
That's no good.
It is no good. All right. It is 9:02 in the PM. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Chat room. Are you ready? Thank you, Nate.
Oh. Thanks, Nate. Is Nate here?
He's not here. I don't see him.
Okay.
Maybe he's still sleeping. I don't know.
I know I would be if my alarm hadn't woken me up.
I know. But as the game case just very well said, we are going to make you ready because your ready pants are on, because this is going to make you ready, and we're ready.
Yep, doing the ready pants dance.
The ready pants dance is on, yo. All right.
The ready pants dance. The ready pants dance.
Chat room, prepare yourselves. Hold on to your butts, because we have a special intro for you.
For
Patrons,
you.
You've already heard this. Ding. And we are going to go in 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, and welcome to Channel 3, your source for Draenor news. Tonight, we talk to Exarch Yrel about her new role in the Council. Also, as the foreign heroes of Azeroth spend more and more time in their garrisons, concerns over pollution in Frostfire and Shadowmoon Valley have reached a tipping point. We'll speak to garrison architects Gazlowe and Brightstone with their thoughts on the subject. But first, our major story. Hurricane Hazakostas continues to batter the continent with extreme winds, preventing would-be explorers from getting a bird's-eye view of Draenor. With more on this, we turn to reporter Arnold Crowman on the scene in Gorgrond. Crowman?
Hello, yes, I'm here. I'm here in Gorgrond, and Hurricane Hazakostas is not letting up one bit. It's crazy. In the last week, we've seen even stronger winds and weather, confirming that despite our best desires, we may not be able to fly here for the foreseeable future. Maybe never. No matter how many people go outside and they scream at the air, they're like, Hazakostas, let us fly! We want to go flying, come on! Let us go! It's just like, no. I will let you go. I will not let you fly. You cannot fly while I'm here. I'm here above you. It's go crazy. The winds, they will just not let up. We're not going anywhere. Poundfist! Poundfist is spawned. I can get the mount. Yes, I'm going to get the mount. Come on, I'm going to get the mount. Wait. No, wait. Poundfist, he just carried away. Ladies and gentlemen, Poundfist was just carried away by the winds. Come on, come back down here. I want to get you. Come on. Come down, please. Well, maybe next week. But yes, the weather is so crazy because Oh, the winds. Like, the winds are getting stronger. I can't hold on. Come back. No.
Girl man? Girl man. Not to worry, folks. He'll be back. And we'll be back with more Draenor news after this.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the World of Warcraft podcast for you, the World of Warcraft player.
It's episode 148 of Tauren Think Tank, and it's Saturday, June 6th of 2015. My name is Jules, and I am here tonight with the man with the plan behind that wonderful introduction. Who's that man? It's Mark Honan!
Hey, Jules. Hey, everybody.
I love it!
Thank you very much. I enjoyed doing it. It's one of the craziest things. You would not believe how much this weather is crazy.
It's totally crazy, Crowman, I gotta say. And thank you for being in the studio today.
Very welcome. I was barely injured when I hit the ground.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that because it took a while for you to hit the ground, didn't it?
Well, I was still flying by the end of it. You see, I went all the way to Frostfire, and luckily I landed near some lava, which was conveniently located by the garrisons from the Horde. And they took me in, and so now I'm doing missions for them.
Oh, so it's coming at us from the ambassador ship from the Horde side. It's Crowman.
You not believe how many times they make me clean the latrines.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
dude.
gross work.
It's gross work for sure. We had to have a little bit of fun. In our world, with all of the let's just call it drama, we wanted to have a little fun, and so we did. So we're here for another show. Don't hate us for our fun. We're not trying.
Yeah,
to...
it was a very lighthearted take on it.
Yes, it was, and we just sometimes you just gotta laugh because that's what we want to do. Anyway, What have you been doing in the last 7 days since we last came on this lovely show?
7 days.
7 days.
Well, Monday I got to have lunch with one of our listeners, Ballas. He actually lives up here, and so we grabbed some lunch after I got off work on Monday morning or Monday afternoon-ish. That was morning.
Yeah.
And so we sat and talked for a couple hours, and it was a really good time. We had some Red Robin, just like we did at BlizzCon last year. So it was good times. It's like the unofficial WoW food place, I guess. I don't know.
I know, right? It's becoming the WoW food place. What Mark Honan is talking about is the first day that we went to BlizzCon last year. The first day everybody kind of got there, we just decided to take the very long walk down to Red Robin from the main convention center area. So that was awesome. We had a blast doing that. I love that place. I don't go there enough, but it's so good.
And they don't have any near where I live, so it's a nice change to get there and eat. And it was a great time with Ballas. It was a really good conversation. He's a cool guy. I look forward to hanging out with him again next time that I'm up here.
Yeah.
This is really cool.
Absolutely. And, he definitely added a couple things to the show this week, so we'll read those.
Definitely.
Might have come out of a conversation or two you guys had.
Yeah, we did. We talked a lot about the game, a lot about what's been going on, learned that he was a transplant from California.
He came all the way from California over here.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and we had a good time. We had a real good time, and so that was one of the first things that happened this week. Also got another mount in the stable. I bought the Spectral Tiger, which is the lower level version, the blue version of the Spectral Tiger family. For those of you that don't know, when you get the trading card game loot card for the Spectral Tiger, you actually get two mounts. You get the Spectral Tiger and the Swift Spectral Tiger, and that's because back in the day, mounts had specific riding speeds.
Yep.
So you would get mounts at level 40 which was your slow mount speed, which is now your level 20 speed. So,
Yep.
so now they boost that down. So that was the blue one. And then they gave you the was it yeah, the level 60
60.
version,
Yep.
which is now your level 40, and that was the Swift Spectral Tiger. And so there's two different ones. Of course, now they all adjust to whatever your riding speed is now. But back in the day, they were set speed mounts. So you had your slow mounts and your fast mounts. The only difference cosmetically between the two is that you have is that there is armor on the paws. So I know it's stupid to spend that much gold on something that's aesthetically very not as it's not enough difference between the Swift one, which I already have, but I kind of wanted both of them, so I bought it. And it was on the auction house for like a third of what it's been usually.
That's awesome.
And so now I'm back to making more gold again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a I make gold so I can farm mounts. And I get mounts and I spend all my gold, so I make more gold. It's a vicious cycle.
At
Very
least
vicious cycle.
at least you're spending the gold and then you're
Hmm.
giving yourself a reason to go back out there and get some more.
Oh yeah, and I'm getting to the point where I have just a handful of the TCG mounts left, and those are the pricey ones. So I got the ones that I wanted out of the way, and then I got all the side ones that are cheaper. And so now that's since I don't really have time to raid or anything. This is the expansion for making gold and buying mounts for me. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
And working on the legendary ring in LFR when I get a chance.
Sure.
But yeah, so I got the Spectral Tiger, and then something not WoW related, but gaming related is there is an arcade up here called the Arcadia Retrocade. And essentially, I went back in time. I went back in time to the mid 80s to all of the nice big arcade halls where just wall to wall stand up cabinets. Talking about they had an entire row of Donkey Kongs. They had Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Jr., like this, all like Donkey Kongs that I didn't know existed. The
Really?
old arcade Mario Brothers. They had Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Baby Pac-Man,
Oh God, baby Pac-Man.
Pac-Man Deluxe, all this stuff. They had four Galagas, a Galaga 88, which I didn't know existed with higher graphics, Asteroids, Joust. Oh goodness, and they even had little couches where you could sit up and they had couches with old tube TVs. There was an Atari 2600 played up in there.
You're
I got to play
killing
a little
me.
bit of the ET game, the one that was famously dumped in a desert landfill. Like they had two copies of ET for Atari 2600. And of course, I got stuck in the cave thing that you couldn't get out of that everybody griped about. But I did that. They had a Genesis N64, all these great cabinets. And there was like 2 or 3 dozen kids just running around. And then there's their parents. And then there's just random teenagers and older people. A great mix of people in there. Best thing is, it was like $5 to get in the door. And, I could get off of the show tonight and drive back, and I can play till midnight on the same $5 that I spent, at noon today. The
That's
guy was very cool
insane.
with it. He was very happy to have us there, showed us around. It was great. It was really great. So that had a to borrow from your other show, I had a lot of geeky goodness for this week.
Yes.
So, and a lot of the games did hold up. Of course, the graphics, aren't as good as, Last of Us or any of the games we have today, but that charm was still there, and it felt really good to be in that space again because I grew up going to arcades. I worked at arcades in college, so that's kind of like a home base for me. Is those old style arcades? Oh, and since my dad's here, they even had the Journey arcade video game.
Oh man.
Yeah, and I played that. It was it's goofy, and I was laughing the whole time, but it was fun. I was like, this is ridiculous. But then again, they did have that game Revolution X that Aerosmith put out,
Yeah.
where you're shooting CDs at people who want to stop music because they're evil, and that's just like, hey, while you're playing the game, you get all the music in your head and all that. But it was really cool. So I had a lot of fun with that. So I'm glad I got to do that.
Oh, how
But
cool. So,
and
that reminds me of when we went to Vegas and went to the Pinball Hall of Fame.
oh yeah,
Oh, that was the best because I'm as much as a video gamer as I was as a kid, pinball was my thing. And so the Pinball Hall of Fame in Vegas, it's off of the Strip. If you've never been, you definitely need to go. It's a short cab ride away from the Strip. And oh my God, they have everything. They have everything from the dawn of pinball to like the latest stuff, and they have one of everything, and it's just amazing. And yeah, and I saw when Marcona was texting me pictures of this place, and I'm like, do they have pinball?
Yeah, she was like immediately, oh, that's nice, but where's the pinball?
Where's the pinball? No,
It's not real if there's no pinball.
no, it's okay. The arcades that you were talking, like this type of thing was still like my place to go. And
Mhm.
Pac-Man, still I could stand in front of a Pac-Man today and I could still have a blast with it and do really well. I've done it. So
I I did not do well at Pac-Man.
aw.
I gave it a couple tries, but I was like, I just can't. Oh man, I like it, but they just won't leave me alone.
They're
Like the
chasing
ghosts.
me everywhere.
Leave me alone.
It sounds like you had a great day today though.
It was a really good day. I did some outruns in the morning and took a nap, and then went to the retro arcade,
Nice.
and then took another nap, and now I'm here. Speaking of things that are not taking a nap, you guys aren't taking any naps on Monday nights. How did Cat on Fire do this week?
Cat on Fire, man. So we decided that we were going to take on some heroic bosses. I mean, why not? We've taken out all the normal bosses, so we should have enough gear. And we did pretty good. We took down 2 new heroic bosses.
Ooh.
Struggled a little bit on the third, which was, it was okay. I mean, it was one of those nights that some raid teams, I think every raid team has this, where people come in and they're kind of carrying some baggage with them. They're tired, they don't feel good, they've had some stresses in their day, frustrations, and the vibe was not right. It just wasn't there. So we killed those bosses. We thought we would try and go and kill Blackhand, and we were just not doing, things weren't clicking. We had people that had kept AFKing because we had stuff going on, and I said, you know what? We're just going to call it. We're just going to go to bed, and we'll come back next week.
Yeah. Well, every red team gets that every once in a while.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm happy with what we did, and rather than beat our heads against the wall, I just said, you know what? Let's call it early. Let's go to bed, and then we'll do that. So yeah, and so in my other moments of free time, I've been playing a lot of Heroes of the Storm. With the release this week, it was, I didn't play as much as I'd hoped because it's just busy. I was just busy all week.
Oh, yeah.
But we played a little bit last night with patrons and friends of the podcast, and that was fun. We had a good time. Yeah, I think right now I'm just so stoked to watch the professional, like the top players play Heroes of the Storm. They had
Yeah.
the exhibition matches that were going on today for kind of that Mayhem and the Nexus launch thing that they did, where they announced there was a new character and a new map coming, and they showed these exhibition matches, and I was just like, I was all over it. It was like, it was me watching football.
Yeah. Exactly.
It was me sitting in front of a Packer game going, go get him! It's like, so just a lot of fun. I think this is my new spectator is going to be watching the pros play Heroes of the Storm, because that is just fun. So yeah, it's been a busy week though. I'm working on a project right now that I can't talk about just yet because it's not ready, but it has been a lot of fun and a lot of work. And so I have very little free time in the last, like in this week, and then next week is the same. Like I looked at my calendar and I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to fit anything in. Like I just don't know how I can do it. But we always make time for this show, and we got a good one planned for you guys. Quick note, if you haven't already seen them, the Triple T Pen Pal program, the signups have closed and the letters went out. So the letters are now in people's mailboxes, and hopefully Pen Pals are corresponding already. So we thank you guys for signing up. We had a nice turnout again, and looking forward to hearing some stories come through to say, I met somebody really cool and now we're playing together, that kind of thing. So
Definitely. And get your meet up in game if you're in the same faction. Take a selfie. take a
Yes.
selfie together. That's one of the coolest things I've seen with this program, is seeing people actually play WoW together. We're like, here's my buddy, my pen pal.
Here's my selfie.
Yeah, my pen pal and me.
Oh, jeez. You just did my buddy. Alrighty. On that note, it's time for us to go into the show itself. We're going to do some discussion. How about that?
How about it?
How
Let's do
about
it.
it? Let's do it.
Let's kick around some ideas, not gnomes.
It's the hardest working stunt gnome in all of podcasting.
Like, seriously. He really is. He needs to get a raise. I don't know. Not a physical one, but anyway. So we're just going to get into the discussion. I actually have two letters that are really similar topics. So I think we'll talk about them both. How's that?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, here's the first one. Hi. I just started playing WoW about 11 months ago. I love the game and just recently found you and started listening to your podcast, which I love too. There's one thing that really bothers me about the game, besides being able to fly in Draenor, haha, and that is the inappropriate conversations that go on in trade chat. I'm sure you know what I mean. Really gross, sexual, racial, and other types of inappropriate conversations. I know that I can just ignore the chat, but isn't that part of what is wrong with our society? We ignore the bad things that happen around us and just go on our merry way. If I do ignore, I've heard there is an ignore limit of 50. Unfortunately, there are way more than 50 people on my server that I would like to ignore. Some say, well, just don't read chat, but it's a little hard not to glance at chat while playing, and many times there are valid trade items that I would like to take advantage of. With all of the inappropriate and useless chat, it's hard to weed out the valid trade chat. I've reported some of the really bad and worst chat that I've seen, but it seems like there is a report limit too, and I don't really know if Blizzard does anything about the things that are reported. I know that there is no way to completely eliminate the inappropriate chat that goes on. Therefore, I made a recommendation to Blizzard that they create a separate chat channel that you have to log into to chat. This chat would then not flow through everyone's chat channels and would only be visible if signed into. That way, the mindless chatters can have a place where they chat their hearts away without mucking up the trade channel. I'd love for everyone to request this or another idea to Blizzard if the trade chat situation bothers them too. If not, in the meantime, what do you recommend that I do so that this part of the game doesn't dampen my fun game time? Thanks so much, from Taya on Hakar. And then we also have this letter. My question is, my question has to do with both Alliance and Horde players who are running around killing NPCs. Why? There are so many things to do in game. Why do they have to run around and kill NPCs? It definitely isn't fun for those of us who have to wait around for NPCs to regenerate so we can turn in a quest and be on our way. Anyway, thanks for listening, from Snowstalker, Tauren, level 90. Okay, so it's
Human nature.
It's time to talk about the bad side of human nature.
Oh yeah.
So obviously we've all seen this. We've experienced this. And I find, see, it's hard for me because I've gotten to a point in my life where I just don't care to see or hear or be involved with any of that. And so if I don't see it, then it doesn't bother me. So I don't have those channels open. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't.
That's one of the first things you could do is /leave and then space and then hit 2, and that will log you out of trade chat, which is unfortunate because you said that you wanted to look at things in trade chat, in case there's a good deal. But it really sucks because this, trade chat is kind of one of the only kind of semi-global chat channels. And for internet trolls and people who want to be, mean or dumb or racist or sexist or all this other stuff and just be, mean people, they want the largest audience possible. And in the game, trade chat's pretty much the biggest microphone you're going to get. especially because everybody lives in their garrisons this expansion, and you're automatically in trade chat when that
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, and I see it too. I see a lot of that, mess in trade chat too, but I rarely even look at it because I personally don't use it a whole lot. If I need something, I go to the auction house and just look for it. But uh, 2020, I think, was the first one in the chat that said, "Ignore more" is an add-on that will let you ignore more than the 50 player limit.
Yeah.
So that would be something to look into, for sure.
I know
It,
there's got to be add-ons too that will literally just filter out. I'm betting there is, and I don't know this. Maybe the chat room does, but that will literally filter out certain keywords that you don't want to see. So, that awful thing that happens in trade chat where everybody like says the word anal and then links the ability, which is so juvenile and stupid, and sometimes funny because Marcona's laughing.
they're creative sometimes. I'll give
Sometimes
them
they
that.
are creative, and
They are creative.
the thing about that though, and the reason why people do it is it's to draw attention to themselves. In
Hmm.
in a world of thousands of people on your server, how do you make yourself stand out? And the difficult thing is that people will it's literally like a child. When a child doesn't get attention on certain things that they want attention for and they want positive reinforcement and they don't get it, they'll actually, I mean, we are programmed to do this. We will go after
Hmm.
negative reinforcement just because we are then getting someone's attention. And it's sad because it is, it's those things that people are trying to draw attention to themselves, and it is causing people to be like, shut up, blah blah blah, and it just
They
so,
feed off of it.
and it becomes a mob mentality, and
Hmm.
this person got attention, so maybe I can do it so that I can get attention. And I want to one up you because I don't want you to get all the attention. I'm going to come up with something smarter and funnier than you, and I'm going to put it out there. And if you don't like it, then I'm going to tell you that you're a noob, and I'm going to call you all these names and blah blah blah. It's terrible, but so I got to admit I'm the worst because I don't want it anywhere near me, so I just go out. I get it away from
Yeah.
me. I don't want it near me. I'm like that on Twitter too, like in Facebook. If you're spouting negativity, if you're saying stuff that's grumpy, if you're always cutting other people down,
Hmm.
I don't want to see it. I don't. But I remember the times where I did because there's that other side of it, which is kind of like watching the soap opera unfold, watching the drama, the spectating of someone's drama, having an opinion about someone, making it, because we make assumptions about people. Whether
Hmm.
or not we think we do, because you do.
Yeah, even on an unconscious level, you do.
Yeah.
That's just how we work.
Because we're always evaluating, we're always looking at people, we're always making judgments, even though we try not to. And some of us are better at it than others to say, you're being judgy and you should stop. But
Yeah.
it is this, it's the same kind of thing that happens when you are driving down the road and there is an accident on the other side of the highway, and you've waited in line slowly crawling down that highway because of that accident on the other side, and you want to take the moment to see what caused you to be backed up there, and so you just stare at it.
Yeah, there better be like 6 cars in there. I'm 20 minutes late to my appointment at the gym or whatever you're doing, whatever you're going to, and
Yeah.
that's more important. They better be really hurt.
Yeah.
It's got to be worth my time,
And
right?
that's what you do. You say that in your head to say this better have been something, not have been something stupid. Like when traffic slows down and you go, the hell, man, there wasn't even anything wrong. Why did traffic go so slow? There's no reason for this. This is dumb. And because you want a reason to
Hmm.
attach to it. The same thing happens for those people in trade chat. You want a reason to say, well, that person just wants attention. That person is just dumb. Oh, they're probably some little kid or something like that playing on their brother's computer. We make assumptions. And so it's tough. For Taya, or Taya. Couple of those suggestions that we've already said, which is to give yourself more opportunity to ignore people is good. Reporting the ones that are really bad is a good thing.
Yeah. And
But
it's that oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that, the way you're describing how the trade chatters are, that's the specific reason why, even though it's a good suggestion to have a chat signed into, that's the reason why it probably wouldn't work, because trade chat is global, so they're going to have the largest audience, so they're going to stick with that. And if everybody migrates to the optional chat, they're going to go troll those people, because those people really don't like what they're saying.
Yep.
And it's not only the number of people, it's not the quantity of people that are not interested in what you have to say and really don't appreciate it. It's the quality. And if you leave, you're already telling them that they have won, and now they're moving the battlefield to another spot where you've retreated to. So it's the only thing you can really do other than leave trade chat is to report them.
Yeah.
If they're actually saying something that breaks their that Blizzard should know about, then definitely report them. I've done it many times. And don't make the sometimes somebody will say something and the next line is someone saying reported. If you report somebody, don't tell them. Don't announce it to trade chat, because
Yeah.
then they'll zero in right on you.
Yeah, because then it goes into bullying territory.
Yep.
And so then you're dealing with someone who feels that they, if you're saying, oh, I've reported this person and I've told you that I've reported you, well, now you've just turned their attention to you and they're going to feel.
They'll gang up on you.
Yeah. And when you're in a trade channel like that, it becomes this mob mentality of people who just want to see, hey, don't mess with our fun, because we're just having fun and we're just acting stupid because it's fun.
Yeah, we're not hurting anybody.
Yeah. So I know that I talk about this a lot, but I'm going to bring it up again because this is another thing that really helps. This really helps me all the time. I brought up the 4 agreements from Don Miguel Ruiz before. And I'm pulling it up on my phone because I actually have this as my lock screen on my phone. I am not kidding you. I will show the chat room this, and it's hard to see it, but I have the 4 agreements as the lock screen on my phone to remind me of the things that I need to do in my life and not let them bother me. And one of them is to not take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality and their own world. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. And
that sounds a whole lot more profound than my lock screen, which is a cat with a microphone. It's a cat yelling at a microphone. Oh, I need a lock screen.
My cat has been on my lock screen forever. I put this on here recently because I really needed the reminder. I did. And so I did it. So when you don't take anything personally in that respect, and other people are doing their thing, it has nothing to do with you. And if you don't get yourself involved and you don't bother getting involved with it, they're just like this. They're extra noise out there. And that's what I do in my life, is just get rid of the extra noise. Just get rid of it. And that's trade chat. I spent too much time. I've been playing WoW for 9 years. I had trade chat open in my, in the cities forever, and I just ignored it, but it would be scrolling by and I'd be like, oh, shut up, just shut up. And then we got to the garrison. It was my little sanctuary garrison. And then there was that stupid trade chat. Just shut up. So I closed it. I don't miss it. I don't miss it. So I said, bye-bye. And so I have that. That is the way I see the world. That is the way that for my own sanity, I want to have the input from people that I want to have, talk to me the way I want to be talked to. I want to see the things that are interesting to me. And I don't want to see a bunch of your negativity being spewed all over the world. So that's me. But I totally understand the mentality of leaving it open and watching the train wreck.
Yeah. So every once in a while I'll get caught reading it, and I was like, oh, they're talking about that again. And I'm doing the mines or the herb garden, and I just see a couple more posts. I'm like, well, that's not true. That's a logical fallacy. You guys aren't even talking about the whatever.
I know. And
You
then
know.
you've just expended energy reading that.
Mm-hmm.
And they, I mean, if you think about it, you have allowed these people to get into your space. When we go into these chat rooms and we do the things that we do, we go on the game, we allow them to be in our space. And so when we say, and when we can just say, I don't care about you. You don't affect me. Your words don't have any impact on me. It's very empowering. So, and the part for the second letter, when you're talking about people who are going around and killing NPCs,
Mm-hmm.
and they're doing that to get a rise out of you. They're doing that to assert their dominance over you. I have control over what you want to do because I kill the NPCs that you need to talk to. And I love you, honey, but Kane has sworn more times in the world sitting next to me, and the F and S and stuff going on next to me, because it's frustrating, and why can't you just go and it's just I just go, all right, fine, I'll go do something else. Like, if they don't get a rise out of me, then they're not gonna do it anymore.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's like maybe one or two legitimate reasons to kill NPCs, but they're not quest NPCs. Like if you're going for the rep in Booty Bay, you can kill the sentries, the guards, and they will give you rep. But quest turn in people. These are just people bored, looking for something that they consider fun to do.
Yeah.
But it's not. They're just doing it to making it inconvenience for you.
Yeah.
They just want to, like Jules was saying, they just want to assert their dominance and their superiority by saying, hey, look, I know you're trying to go through Sentinel Hill over here on your new Alliance lobby, but I'm going to take out the flight path guy so you can't leave. I had that happen when I was leveling up one of my tunes, is that some horde, like a group of horde, kept killing all the NPCs and the flight master. So I couldn't go anywhere, and it was before I could fly, or not fly, before I could even mount up at all.
Yeah, so you were walking.
So I was walking. Yes, indeed, I was walking.
I get it. I mean, I really understand the frustration that comes along with people doing something that causes you to not be able to do what you need to do. And if they would just leave it alone, it wouldn't be a problem. Hello, Garrisdale. Hello, Garris. So it's a really tough thing to. Why do people do it? It's because they're bored. It's because they want to watch the world burn. It's because they're mad about something in their life, and they want to get out their frustration because that pain needs to come out onto somebody else. It's this thing. And it's really stupid. There's really no good explanation for it, except that there's really some angry people in this world.
Mm-hmm.
There's some very angry people in this world. And some of them have very good reasons to be angry. I'll never judge that, because I've seen it. I've seen people who are always angry at the world and the things that have happened to them in their lives. But our brains are very, very complicated machines. And you may not even know. You may not even realize that you're pissed off at the world constantly, because you're so wrapped up in whatever you're doing. But it really could be the wonderful saying. The wonderful saying, and I believe it actually came from the show Justified, is that when you go out during your day and you run into an a-hole and you go, man, he's an a-hole. And all throughout your day, you run into every person and they're an a-hole. And you come home and you say, my day was absolutely filled. Every single person that talked to today was an a-hole. But really, you might be the a-hole.
You're just looking through a-hole colored glasses.
You are looking through a-hole colored glasses. Well done, sir. Well done. And so but it's so frustrating when you are sitting there going, I just want to be left alone. I want to go do my thing. Please don't do that to me. And really, they don't know you from anybody else. You just happen to be in the whole path of their destruction, but you happen to be the yeah, no, the show title is not going to be a-hole colored glasses. I'm sorry. But I just wish that there were more folks out there who understood what their actions do to other people. But that's the limit to this, is that when you go out there and trade chat and you say these horrible things, or you go and you kill a bunch of NPCs because you're bored and you have nothing else to do and you think it's funny that other people can't turn in their quests, that you would have a realization of what you do to other people, because then that's when the bullying stuff comes in, and we can all relate to that.
Absolutely.
Crowman is making an appearance in the chat room, apparently. Come
Yeah,
on.
via 2020.
So,
it
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to ask you though, is there anything else that you can think of that you can do? Like, do you have trade chat open all the time still?
I do. I do, because every once in a while there will be something. I largely ignore it. Like I'll ignore all of chat. Like sometimes even guild chat I won't watch for a while. Just because if I'm on WoW, I'm doing garrison stuff, or I'm running old raids for mounts, or I've got objectives. I'm not really just kind of sitting out vegging. I don't have time for that now. So I'm always doing something. So it's up there, but I don't really pay attention to it that much. But then if I see something, then I'll not pay attention to it even more, because
Yeah.
I don't want. It's like there's no reasoning with them, because if I get into a philosophical debate with a bunch of people who are angry and people who they don't want to hear what I have to say,
Yeah.
just as much as I don't want to hear what they have to say. And if I jump in the fray, then it's not going to lead to anything. And earlier, I think Midnight was saying in the trade chat that sometimes you can call them on their crap. You can
That
call
was
them out on
2020
it.
who was saying that.
It was 2020
Yeah.
said that? Okay. Yeah, I know a few people talked about it, but sometimes that does work, because then you'll get, if one person does it, then the other people who were going to do it are like, man, someone should really stand up to those guys. Someone takes the initiative. The rest of those who are on the fence get off the fence and join you. And that happens in LFR raids. It happens in trade chat, but it's few and far between.
Yeah.
So that's always the option, is to, call someone on the crap, but do it at your own peril. And also have your /ignore ready to go if somebody gets really abusive or angry. I
Yeah.
did see that also in trade chat, or in our chat room. Somebody said to have your /ignore ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also keep your report button handy.
Yeah,
Report people if they are, if they are saying, there's words that they can't say, there's things they can't say, threatening, like seriously sounding threatening, stuff like that. You can always report it, and it'll go to Blizzard, and someone will take a look at it. So that's always your option. So they do have tools for you to use, but unfortunately it's not an easy fix,
Yeah.
because the problem is that there are people in the situation, and that always mucks up a perfectly good robotic electronic system. We are the systemic anomaly, to quote the Matrix.
Exactly. I wanted to talk a little bit about what you brought up with what 20 was saying about standing up to people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys are going to find this controversial or not, so I'm just going to say it because this is how I feel. But there was a time in my life where I felt like, the wrongs of the world should be stood up to, and should be told, and should be, the wrongs of the world should be told that they're wrong. And the crusade needs to happen. The right should always prevail and wrong should always die. Those are the things that you should be defeated. And as I've gotten older, I've really changed just in my approach to say, I don't really feel like their opinion enters in my space because they forced that into my space. They forced their opinion around me. I didn't ask for it. It just appeared there. And so when it turns back around and I say, you know, hey, that's not right. You're being mean. Don't do that. And they don't know me from anybody. I'm just I'm just a gnat on their windshield. It's going to be a situation where they're just literally going to swat me away, or they're going to call me a noob, or they're going to call me some horrible names and just be like, whatever. And then I'm going to result feeling slighted and upset and feeling like I've got to fight harder so that they hear me. No, no, no. You must hear me. You must hear my opinion, and you must know me as right. You know what I mean?
Oh, I do. I actually, there are a couple guys at work that this very situation happened, and it did not end well.
Tell me more.
I had to walk away from it. Well, one of our coworkers is he's kind of he'll disagree with you even if he knows he's wrong.
Yeah.
Just to get, because he does not honestly give two craps about what you think about anything. And then we have another guy who has to be right and who is right and who will make sure that he does know a lot. He's a very knowledgeable individual.
Right.
And he will go miles and miles beyond the conversation just to make sure that you're right. And there was a discussion on whether or not Alexander Hamilton was a president or not.
Wow.
And the one guy was like, yeah, he was the 10th president because he's on the $10 bill. He was the 10th president. And he was like, well, actually, he was not. He was the treasurer. I forgot what it was. And he was like, no, dude, he was totally the president. And he's like, well, no, you're wrong because he did this, but then he was assassinated by Aaron Burr in a duel and all that. And I knew that already, and I was trying to stay out of it, but we were all in the same area at work. And then it just got into a shouting match.
Really?
Because the other guy was like, no, you're wrong. He was like, I do not give a crap what you think. And the other guy was like, well, you're wrong. You are wrong. And he's like, I don't give a crap.
Yeah.
You know, and they just start screaming. So this exact situation I was 2 feet from until I had to walk away. I was like, you guys, this is not worth my time. I'm not getting paid to listen to you guys yell at other people.
Right.
And I was like, I could see both sides. You know, I could not see both sides, but I could, it's like, why do you care? Why are you going to such lengths to get under his skin? Why don't you just say like whatever and walk away? And the other guy, it's like, why don't you understand that he's never going to listen to you? Shut up.
Yeah.
You're right. I know you're right. Wikipedia knows you're right. Isn't that good enough? Because the other guy is not listening.
Yeah.
Will not listen to reason.
Right. And that because he is so set.
I have a real life trade chat.
You do. I mean, that was literally, that's so true. And it's funny because, and you walking away was saying, look, I can't change either of these guys' approach. The way that they see the world, I can't change that. Mm-hmm. If you always need to be right and you need someone to tell you, you know what, I was wrong and you're right in order to feel validated, and you don't get that, and then you spin your wheels to try to get that and you still don't get it, and you wind up being frustrated, that's your own problem. It's not my problem. It's your problem.
It's exactly what happened.
Yeah. And so you said, that's your problem.
Yeah, you guys are just spinning your wheels. I'm out of here. Yeah. I need to do something else because this is getting on my nerves.
It is something that I've seen it so many damn times. I've seen it, and I have this situation where I look at it and say, you know what? I'm not going to change your mind. I'm not going to change your approach. I'm not going to change the fact that you want to watch the world burn, that you want to stoke the fires and watch people kill each other, that you want that you want to make people angry. I can't stop you. My words aren't going to stop you. And because you don't care about me. And so I'm going to go on and live my life, and I'm going to have my space, and I'm not going to let you bother me. And that's how I tend to handle it. And I'm wondering, I mean, I the reason I say it could be controversial is that people are going to say, well, Jules, why aren't you being the crusader? Why aren't you standing up to the people who are being mean and awful and antagonistic and frustrating and doing things to hurt other people. Why aren't you standing up for that? And my response to that in my years of life is just to say, my words are only going to impact people who want to hear them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Bottom
that's
line.
true. And if somebody is not willing to listen and they don't want to listen, then you're wasting your breath on someone who doesn't care.
Yeah.
Just like my situation at work.
Right. And why then? Because then all of a sudden you've taken on the anger burden from the two of them. Because now you've gotten involved in a thing that never involved you in the first place. If you were to talk them down or tell them, like, you're right, just shut up and move on. You're both pretty, go away.
You're both lovely individuals.
So it is that, it's that thing about, I mean, I just, unless it's someone that I know and that knows me and that my words would actually have an impact, I'm going to choose those opportunities very, very carefully. And I'm not going to waste them on anybody that doesn't know, that I don't know, that doesn't know me, because why bother? Then I take on that emotional burden and that baggage, and I don't want it. I don't need it. And be gone with it. It makes me a happier person. So it's just, I understand the need to want to tell people that they're being an asshole. You know, I'll just say it. You want to just tell someone, you know what, you're a real dick when you're being mean to somebody, because it would feel good for you to to call someone out and tell them that they're acting like that and that they're hurtful. But all that does is unburden you, and it just puts it back on that other person. And how many times in this lifetime are you going to say something, you know what, you're a real dick, and that person turns back to you and says, you know what, you're right. And you're the first person to ever tell me that. And I never knew it. And I'm not going to be a dick anymore. Like, when is that going to happen?
And then you wake up because you were dreaming.
That's right.
That's when it's going to happen.
Exactly. So I that is how I deal with this in my life. So in order for these things to not dampen your fun, to have you enjoy your game time, you need to do the things that are going to make you the happiest, which, if it's ignoring people and leaving the trade chat open and just ignoring the people that are the loudest and most obnoxious, getting an add-on that will allow you to ignore more people, report the ones that are really offensive. Yeah, you know, but I'm not doing any reporting unless it's actually being directed to me. Like, if I'm being abused directly to me from somebody, they're getting reported, but I'm not seeing it otherwise. So that's me.
Yeah. And I report somebody if something is just extremely off color and it's something that really should not be said, then I'll report them, even if it's not directed at me, because I do have trade chat open. Then I'll do that. So that, like I said, Blizzard does have tools for you to use, and there's that other add-on, ignore more, if there's, consistent people doing it. But, unfortunately, it's, trade chat is a public space. It's like the food court at a mall. And as long as somebody's not breaking any of the rules, they can do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
They can eat Chinese food at the pizza place. And if you're sitting right next to you and you really don't like the smell of Chinese food and pizza, you can either sit there and listen to it or have it there, or you can walk away because they're not breaking any of the rules.
I don't like your Chinese food.
Huh?
I don't like your Chinese food.
That's okay, because I do.
Okay, fine.
And I'm going to sit here in a public space and eat my Chinese food because they offered it and I bought it and then I sat down. Or you sat down after me, since I was already sitting here. Like, if you join trade chat and there's already a conversation, you're sitting down next to me while I'm eating my Chinese food, talking to my friend eating pizza. So you can either leave or you can enjoy it, enjoy the smell.
Yeah. It's funny. What made me think, though, is like that. Okay, so I have a pretty nasty reaction to strong perfume, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so anytime a woman, or it's cologne too. So if a man wears cologne or a woman wears heavy perfume and it's something that I react to, which is a lot of them, and they happen to sit down next to me, like on an airplane. That's the worst. Like, you
Oh
sit
yeah,
down.
you're trapped.
Yeah, I'm trapped. Now, it's her right. It's his right to wear a butt ton of perfume. They can do whatever they want.
Butt ton of perfume. Show titles.
And I sit there and go, don't you realize that other people get allergies and wind up getting a sore throat and sneezing and feeling sick and get headaches about this? But no, they don't know that.
Yeah, or it's like, the missus is allergic to peanuts.
Okay.
So when I'm around her, I can't even eat anything. Like I love Butterfingers. I love peanut butter. Love Reese's peanut butter cups. Everything peanut butter. I love it. I can't have it around her because the smell will give her like shortness of breath because it's that association with possible death.
Yeah.
So she's got it programmed in her brain to not be around it. So I have to make the decision, even though it's not breaking any laws or rules or anything like that. I'm not feeding her peanut butter. I have to make that decision and be conscious of it
Yeah.
and not have it around her. So, even though I'm not breaking any of the rules, I still, I'm taking that extra step to
Yeah.
think about the other people around me.
Yeah.
Which is a good idea if you do fly in a plane, use a little bit less of the Calvin Klein there, buddy.
Your Drakkar Noir is just killing me there, man.
Your eau de toilet. Oh, get that eau de toilet away from my nostrils.
There's two different things there. You're talking about, I hate Chinese food. You sat next to me eating your Chinese food. I'm allergic to your perfume, and you sat next to me wearing your perfume. You're allergic to, your wife is allergic to peanuts, and you can't have peanuts around her. God forbid somebody did. But then you think about the people who go into these situations and cause an intentional ruckus or intentional harm to people.
Yeah, you smushed peanut butter on her face, or
Or-
something like that, or you spray, or someone sprays you with that cologne.
Yeah.
You know,
Or
and just
you've
forces it
literally
on
just
you.
she's got this allergy to peanuts, and somebody sits down with those peanuts, a peanut butter jelly sandwich next to her, and she says, "I'm really sorry, I just can't have this near me because I could die from this touching me." And that person just takes that big bite out of that sandwich
He
and
just
goes
stares at her.
staring at her, going, "I am not going to move." Like it's
Yeah,
that.
just a big bite. Not my problem.
It's not my problem.
Just
And
being
so
inconsiderate. Yeah,
it's
there is that other
inconsideration.
level.
So we're surrounded by this stuff. Some of it's intentional, some of it's not. But the things that we allow that bother us is the stuff that gets into your head. It winds up making your day worse. It winds up making your attitude bad and your outlook on life bad. And at my job, half the time I'm deflecting bad attitudes from people because it's all coming at me from different directions, and sniping and passive aggressiveness, and I just sit in the back and just kind of block it out because I can't stand it. If I let it get to me, it will get to me. And it's easy for it to get to me because it's in my space. I can't get away from it. I got to be there. And so I spend a lot of time just kind of saying, I don't want your crap. Don't give me your crap. I'm busy working on my job. Don't give me your crap.
Yeah,
So-
and that's kind of what you might have to do in this, Taya. Is since if you want to stay in trade chat for the good things about trade chat, you have to endure the bad things.
Yeah.
And if it's like really breaking any of the rules or they're really getting bad, you do have those tools in place to at least try to affect it.
Yeah.
So that's the unfortunate. Trade chat is pretty much the bottom of the drain in WoW. Everything filters down to it, especially the bad behavior and the bad comments. It's unfortunate.
It's funny because when I put this in here, I didn't know exactly where this discussion would go. This was so much fun. Like, this was really fun.
We went all over the place. It was
Yeah.
good.
I love discussions like this, and I hope you guys do too. Anything else that you would like to bring up with this one?
Stop killing NPCs, you jerks. Go do something else.
Don't be an a-hole.
Yeah. Just get a rolled up newspaper. Stop it. Stop.
Or a towel and snap it at their ass.
That could work too.
I'm evil tonight. Okay.
It's
Thank-
feisty. Jules is feisty.
Feisty Jules is feisty. Thank you, Taya and Snowstalker, for your letters for our discussion topic. We really do appreciate them. And we always enjoy getting more letters from you folks to have for the show. So please send them in to questions@taurenthinktank.com. And we will try to get them on the show if we can. And yeah, so that's the discussion topic. We're going to take a short little intermission, I guess, to talk a little bit about what we did last night, right?
Yes, we did.
What did we do last night?
Well, everyone else destroyed me at Heroes of the Storm. I got obliterated for a good solid 3 hours.
You did well. I died a lot too.
Yeah, I learned a new hero, Muradin, and he's one of my favorites. But anyway, what we did that for was a listener/patron appreciation. If you're one of our patrons and you were there in the chat room, we worked you in and got you either on the team with us or the other team to fight against us. And we'd like to do that for our patrons. And if you don't know, patrons are what we call the people on patreon.com, on our Patreon page, who they like what we do enough to give us a donation to help us run the show, help us come up with cool prizes to give out, and just support what we do. And the show will always be free. You don't have to worry about that, because I mean, we love doing the show and we will gladly do it for you for free. But if you choose that you want to help us out a little bit, we'll gladly take your donation. Even a little bit of as $1 a month will help. It's a monthly donation. It's a recurring at the end of the month. We have a lot of cool things that we get. You'll get like the promo at the beginning of the show. Patrons got that a good solid week early. Sometimes they get audio that doesn't get aired on the show.
That's right.
So you'll get that extra layer. And there's also a few of the t-shirts that we have left over from BlizzCon 2014 from the Smash Bash. We have a few of those left over. Those can get to your doorstep and onto your person so you can wear them.
Yes.
Like you do other t-shirts, because that's where they go. It's on you.
On your person.
On your person. But we are very close to our very first goal. Our first goal is a searchable database of all the questions and answers that we have delivered to you in the entirety of Triple T, which is 148 episodes. My goodness gracious.
I know.
So if you think that if there's like an idea or a question you wanted to have, you could always just search our database too to see what we've said about it before, give the episode and everything. That's what we're going to do for you guys if we hit our first goal, which we are pretty close to. We are getting really close to that. So if you guys want to partner with us, if you want to become a patron and do all these cool things to get an extra layer on your Triple T experience, then all you have to do is go to patreon.com/TaurenThinkTank, and they'll help you out from there.
Thank you guys so much for supporting our show. We appreciate every single one of you.
Yes, we do.
All right. So now it is time for us to do that thing with the stuff. That thing we call this show. It's called the Think Tank. We like that. I like that thing. Let's do it.
I like that thing.
Tauren between options? Let Triple T help you sort it out.
It's Think Tank time. This is the advice question of the show. It can be about WoW. It can be about you. It can be about us as players. It can be anything. But they come from you. And this show has a letter that I think is going to be very interesting as a topic. Hi, guys. I love the show. You can use my name, which is Bill. I've had mental problems for many, many years. What I'm dealing with is this. While I'm out and about, I might see a random person, and something about what I see triggers something in my head. I start seeing myself walking up to them and killing them and walking away. I've never done it. Every time I've had this happen, I run because I don't want to do it. I'm getting a bipolar shot once a month. It helps a little. It's never happened when I'm around people I know, just random people. I'm afraid to tell people because I know that they will always be on the lookout to make sure I don't hurt them. I turned 33 on January 21st. Because of what I see and go through, I've never had a girlfriend afraid she would run away. But all that changed about 1.5 years ago. I met a nice female who is about 30. I think she is asexual, but I don't mind that. I love spending time with her. She knows, but I'm still afraid she will run if she sees me at my worst. I don't know what to do. /moo to you guys for helping everyone out. from Bill, aka Morgan Leafa, Windrunner on Bailgun. Oh, okay, Bill.
You got the slash moo in.
You got the slash moo. This has a little bit of parallel to the episode we had, I think, 2 weeks ago, talking about suicidal ideations. Having us, and that was our writer who talked about how he thinks about killing himself in different ways, at least 30 times a day. And Bill is in the chat room. Hi, Bill.
Yeah, hey, Bill.
And so we'll be talking to you too, Bill. This is, what I see in your letter, just to start out, is that you're already getting help.
Mm-hmm.
You're already going to get therapy and psychiatry medication, which is good. The bipolar shot thing, I was actually unaware of this. I did not know what this was, and so I sent a message to our good friend Anthony Bean, Dr. Bean, and asked him about this, and he said yes. What this is a shot for an outpatient treatment protocol. It's a mood swing, basically. It's for severe mood swings, and it is a monthly shot. It's for continuing outpatient therapy to help with those extreme bipolar mood swing type things. So it does exist, and I learned something new. So, and now Marcona learned something new because I don't think
Yes,
you
I did.
So since Bill is in the chat room tonight, we may ask you a couple questions, and feel free to just throw the answers in there if you want to. If you don't, that's okay. I'm wondering how long you've been going to therapy. I'm wondering how long you've been getting treatment, and some of the things that your therapist has mentioned in terms of coping mechanisms, because you are very clearly aware that you don't want to go up to someone strange on the street and kill them and walk away, but that you have this vision. And so he just said 7 years that he's been doing that. So you've been getting this treatment, but I think the main part of his question is, I'm afraid about my girlfriend most of all. I don't want to lose my girlfriend. And so I'm afraid she'll run if she sees me at my worst. So I think this is about relationships, to be completely honest. It's about relationships and the honesty around relationships and communication. So I would say that Arcane sees me at my worst, and it can be pretty ugly when it's my worst. I am not the always smiling, happy-go-lucky person that I seem to be, that I put forth on this chat room. I have major fears. I have like, if I get pissed off, I get really mad.
You're not the only one.
Do you have yelling issues? Like, I have yelling issues.
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah.
It can. Yeah, I always try to quell it pretty quickly because I know that doesn't get anywhere. Because shouting begets more shouting, and that doesn't have any progress to it.
Yeah.
You can't shout your view onto someone, and that's, I try to stamp that out as soon as it arises. So yeah, it does happen. I do have a temper. It's a slow build. I'm not always cheery.
Yeah, but I think and I think that's probably me too. It takes a lot to set me off like that, but when it hits hard. Like and you say it's a slow build. Like it's like piling up of stuff before you blow.
It piles up, and then it's one little thing that'll set it off.
Okay.
And then it's just like fire for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. Where Gator said, long fuse, big bomb.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Pretty much.
So obviously you've been married for several years. And so I am betting that your wife has seen you blow up like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you're still together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, we are.
You're still together because she has seen you at your worst. Um,
And
and
vice versa. Yeah.
yeah, and you have seen her at her worst. But what, so I'm in, and I cannot even imagine or get any close, possibly close to what Bill goes through in his mind. I cannot relate. I cannot, because I don't have those visuals of walking up to someone and wanting to kill them and then being fearful that I might actually do it. I don't
Yeah.
have that. But
It kind of reminds me of, what was it, last week we were talking about those, something of the void.
yeah,
Those,
it's
you
the
remember
call of the
those,
void.
call of the void. So this is a little bit of the ideations and the call of the void as well.
Yep.
Because I'll be honest, there's, you get I get those random thoughts every once in a while. I was like,
Yeah.
what would happen if I just pulled my car over here and just knocked over all these people on the sidewalk?
Yep.
Who would fall faster? Who would fly higher?
Yeah.
Would it be the old lady or the girl with the baby carriage? And then it's like, what the heck am I thinking that for? And it's
And it scares
it's
you.
not, it does. I'm like, why am I thinking that? There is no reason for it. And
Mm-hmm.
so a lot of people experience those things, but there's not like that. It seems like it's more intense
Mm-hmm.
from Bill's letter.
And he just said in the chat room, that's why I wrote, because of that episode.
Oh, okay,
He wrote
okay,
because of that episode. And so I
okay.
think that makes a lot of sense. And you're going through something very similar.
Hmm.
The very first thing I'd like to say to Bill is that I'd like to have you and our other writer get to know each other. I think you two could probably help each other a little bit with similar experiences to talk. So I will probably pass emails back and forth with permissions, from both of you. The other thing that I would want to talk about here is because we're not experts and because we don't have the ability to give you diagnosis or coping mechanisms, but what we can talk about is relationships and the trust that comes within a relationship. You have put yourself out there, Bill, to be in a position where you are letting yourself be with someone else. And that
Hmm.
in itself, in just like the very basics of it, is freaking scary. For anybody.
It
It's
is,
freaking
yeah.
scary to say to somebody, like, we all want to be loved, but when you give everything who you are, like, there's one person in the world who actually knows exactly who you are. And there might be the only person in the world who knows exactly who you are because you don't even know it.
Hmm.
That's scary. But we do that because we want to be loved. We want to have love in our life. Most of us do. And I'm making assumptions here because I know not everybody is after a relationship, but the majority of us seek that out. And we seek out a romantic partner. So I apologize to those that don't, but I'm
Or
kind of
even friendships, because you could equate this to your best friend.
sure.
There's things, you get to a level of friendship and then you start digging deeper into who you and your friend are, and they learn more about you.
Yeah.
And it's the same kind of, it's less intense possibly because there's not a romantic involvement
Yeah.
into it, but you've still got to cross that bridge eventually if you're going to maintain the friendship, and if it's a deep enough friendship.
Yeah.
You're not going to have this with coworkers that you're acquaintances with, but
Yeah.
with, so it's really with any relationship, not just romantic. It could be platonic too,
It's true.
but just if you have a deep enough relationship with that person, the stuff will come out, and that is scary.
Yeah.
It can be very scary for them to see you at your worst, and whether or not they want to stick around or not.
That person that's going to be there, that person that's going to be the one for you, is never going to let you fall. No matter what you tell them, no matter what kind of secrets you have told, that person will be there for you. It's that safety net. It's the trust exercise that you do in these like retreats or business like getaways where you have to like let someone fall backwards and catch them, and they have to be the ones to let go and fall. It's that tough stuff, and not everybody is going to be there for you when you have the worst of you,
Hmm.
and some people's worst is a lot worse than others. Some people are just very, very specific styles. Some people can deal with it, some people cannot. But those people that do, they're going to be the ones that do that. And he said, I hide everything because I've been hurt by people who said that they won't leave me. And all of us have been through that.
Absolutely.
All of us can relate to that. So the thing that I would say in that is that when you think about your life and you think about the choices that you make in terms of who you interact with, is it easier for you to say, I would rather be alone and never be hurt again? Or I would rather at least say that I was in love or that I had a deep connection with someone and it's not there anymore because of whatever, but at least I had the experience of having it. And neither of those answers are right or wrong because everybody's different. Right?
Right.
And I've been through times where I thought, there is no way I'm ever going to, I said, after I got divorced, I said, I will never get married again.
Been there, done that, got the t-shirt.
Yeah. Because I went through it and I was like, I am never, ever, ever going to put myself in a position where I would go through this again because I would never. And then I fell in love. Go
King
figure.
beat the odds.
He did. He broke it down because when I was dating him, I said, we're not getting married. I said, you may love me, we're not getting married. And he's just like, we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
We're gonna have that discussion.
That's what you think.
And Kane just said, I'm sorry, Jules, okay? I love you,
Need
honey.
a little more time. I'll put the ring back in my pocket. Won't show it to her today.
He was the guy who just said, you know what, I'm not gonna let you just say that without, and he has proven to me time and time again that even at my worst, he will be there for me. And so there is going to be people out there. I mean, the majority of people out there are not going to be there for you when you need them most. It's just a fact. Because we're self-centered son of a bitch sometimes. Sons of bitches. We have our own stuff. We have our own things going on in our lives. We have our own things and you have to deal with. It takes a very special person to take you out of your own head and want to give back to somebody else. I mean, it does. And they're rare. And you think that when you find them, you're like, oh no, they're not going to actually be there for me. They're not going to be the person that's going to be there for me. And then they do it. And then you're waiting for them to fall and do something stupid. And so it's just but if you don't try and you don't allow yourself to have that and you want it, then what are you doing? Why bother? And I want to have people in their lives saying, I bother because of this, because I want this, because I want to have this in my life. So
it's worth it.
It is worth it. It is. And I know now, after I went through the pain of divorce and never wanted to get married again, and then I fell in love and I decided that I was going to do it again because I was going to jump off that cliff again. My goodness. And this time I wasn't going to have a parachute. Because if and we both said to each other, Kane says to me all the time, you're going to have to carry my corpse out before you divorce me. That's how it is. And so, yeah. So this is what we can share with you about our worlds and the way we see things. I've been going on and on, Marconin. Please jump in and talk about this from your perspective.
Well, I agree with you pretty much on everything you've said because it's anything worth having is worth risking a lot for. People usually don't make millions of dollars on a sure thing. They take a chance. A lot of times it doesn't pan out. Sometimes it does. And the same thing can be said for those deep and meaningful relationships. You have to take that step and that risk to get the reward. Playing it safe doesn't get you anywhere. You keep the training wheels on, you're never going to go mountain biking. You're never going to fall off a cliff while you're mountain biking either. but at least you had the experience.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Like, of course, it's not quite that extreme, but it's it's got to be, if it's worth the risk, then take the risk.
Yeah.
If I don't know how. Let's see here. I don't know how. Yeah, 1.5 years. That's a long time to get to know somebody. That's a pretty good chunk of time. And I think I think you've had enough time with her and her with you, where you're probably comfortable enough to discuss deeper subjects. I don't know if you already have or not. I mean, you kind of sometimes you have to kind of test the waters with things that are not as deep. You have to start in the shallow end. You have to start in the kiddie pool first and then work your way into it, because you have tons of friends. Everybody has tons of friends, but you could probably count on one hand or two the people who know you, who
Yeah.
like know you. I know I can count on one hand of people that do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's getting to that point is very risky because you're exposing yourself to people. Sorry, I had a funny joke moment about exposing yourself in front of people. Put the trench coat away.
Marconi.
But yeah, it's because you risk showing that side of you. There's always a chance, that someone would just be like, "Oh, don't hang around with that person because they did. Here's your secret or whatever." But
Yeah.
it's just one of those things. I think it's worth it, especially since you've known each other for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't know if you know each other in person or if it's just through the game or how it is, but either way, if if they're worth their salt, they'll stick around.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if if they want to be with you, if they want to be with you enough to weather the storm that is your worst, then they're worth going through the storm.
Right.
You know, the
Yeah.
rewards on the other side are greater than it'll be before. So I think it's probably time to at least test the waters with some of this stuff with her and see how it goes. Because like I said, if she's worth it, if she's the one that will stick through all of this stuff. Oh, okay, so you guys play and go to the movies and stuff all the time. That's cool.
Yeah.
He said they live about 35 minutes apart.
Perfect.
That's good. That's really good. So, bring the stuff up slowly
Mm-hmm.
and casually and just, because I mean, we all have, things that aren't ideal about our lives, and it's, some are not as extreme as others, but they still have them and they're still insecure about them.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe she has skeletons in her closet too,
I think he
you
already
know?
knows that she does from the letter to say
Yeah, from
he.
the thinking that
Yeah.
she's asexual,
Right. And
which is
so
fine. Yeah,
if you think you don't know, which means that that discussion has never been had either.
true. Yeah, that's true. So it may, you may learn a lot. She may, like I said, she'll have skeletons in her closet too, and sharing those and still being able to have a relationship together despite them,
Mm-hmm.
or through them is good. So I think it's a conversation that'll need to be had, you know, and I think it's one that should be had.
Yeah.
It's not worth hiding these things, from them, because it'll come out eventually one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not worth the surprise. The surprise can damage more than the confession.
Well, after 1.5 years, you've been taking some pretty, it sounds like baby steps,
Mhm.
spending time
Yeah.
together. And he said that they talk every day. They live 35 minutes away. He talks via Facebook. And that they chat back and forth, which is great. And if you believe that she is asexual, then I think that it's something that is going to be good for you to know. Because it is something that is, it's part of a relationship that at least everybody understands, where it's, you're okay with it. She's good with it. You just need to say, we're okay here, right? We're good. But I'm reading what he said. I've talked about it. And when I explain it, the way my therapist explained it to me, she said she understands, but that she never saw me like that. And so I guess my question for you, Bill, is that, is this something that's physically on you? Like when this happens, is there something that physically happens to you? Do you get angry? Does it, Like, is there an explosion? Is there, what happens that would be considered my worst? Because then it would, and what are you afraid of her for seeing? Because if she's okay with you who you are, but she doesn't know, you've kind of told her about it, is it like, are you transforming into the Wolverine and she hasn't seen it? So, that's the things. Is it outward or is it inward? And is it just something that is going to be something that you believe that will cause her problems? And so this is a big question mark in my brain. To say, what's that next baby step for you? What's the things that you can talk to her about and tell her? I've had this conversation with my therapist and we've been talking about X, and this is something that I am concerned about. I don't want to scare you. I don't want to upset you. Those kinds of things. So, and I think these are the little things that you can do. But the basis behind it is trust. And it's allowing yourself to be more open, and to be more vulnerable and willing to talk about the things that, because sometimes like the long fuse, big boom thing, you can't control that. Like most of the time when it happens, you're just like, I'm fine. And watch out.
I'm not fine.
I am not fine. And it's literally just pfft. So yeah, and it just winds up becoming it becomes a crazy kind of like out of control piece, and then you got to just bring it back down. He said, I start shaking. The last time it happened, I totaled the table with an axe because I had it boil over, but that was the first time that happened. And hopefully you worked with your therapist on that too, because that's definitely needed to be worked through. But I mean, I'm not going to lie. There's some danger points here. And I think that you are definitely concerned, and you want her safety to be of the utmost importance here. You don't want her to be hurt physically or emotionally. And most importantly at this point, physically. So if there's a possibility that she can come with you to your therapist, if your therapist thinks
that's a good
okay,
idea.
That's a possibility too.
Yeah, that's something to explore for sure.
So it is, you're being very strong, and
He's very aware.
Yeah, like
He's aware of the situation, which is fantastic.
yeah, and you are also putting yourself out there in a way to say, I know that I have this challenge and that is something that I want it to change, and you're doing something about it, and I applaud you for that. We both feel very strongly that when we talk about our mental illnesses and the things that challenge us and the things that make us fearful, I mean, this chat room, I'm always amazed by this chat room and the things that people share with each other and talk about and support each other through is very, very important. And
absolutely,
the dialogue needs to be there. And so, yeah, I mean, Billy, there are some things that are definitely concerning and scary, and we aren't experts or licensed professionals to be able to help you with it, but you are getting the help that you need. And because someone else brought this up on the show, you felt the courage to bring it up on the show as well, and to talk to us about it and have us talk about it. If you're out there listening and this is you, these are the things, and you need some help, there are people who are like you who can help you and who can talk about their experiences and be your friend. And, I know that because we've had people say, I want to write to this person. I want to talk to them. I want them to know that I care. So and that's what
that maybe they were in the same boat too.
Yeah. So we can do as a community, as we lead this community, Mark Honan and I, that's what we can do to help you help each other. So
help us, help me, help you.
So please continue to go get your treatment, which I know you are. And perhaps your girlfriend can be through this with you, through the safety of your therapist and your support system. Because if she's part of your life, then she needs to know what's going on with you.
Yep, absolutely. And like I said, if this is something that she wants to stick with and you want to stick with, you can weather the storm. you can get through it, and as long as you're upfront about it, and she knows, and I know she already knows, but to go through it, that'll be the first, kind of big deal, is if you do go through, you know, an episode like that with her there. Now at least she knows and she's prepared for it.
Good.
And especially with talking with a therapist, we can kind of help lessen that when it comes around. So
Absolutely.
absolutely, you're very strong and very aware of your situation, and that's something not a lot of people have. They don't know something's wrong, and so for you to have all of this, you're already ahead of the game.
Mm-hmm. And we're very happy that we could at least help you. As he said, the last episode helped me how I look at my problem. Thank you for allowing us to have that opportunity to do that.
Yes,
That's what you
thank
guys
you.
do for us. So, oh, I love what we do so much because we help other people help each other. So, such a good thing. And if you have something that you would like help with from us and the community, because they're a major part of this as well, you can send us a question at questions@taurenThinkTank.com. You can email us there. You can send us on Twitter. It's at TaurenThinkTank on Twitter, or our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank.
Lots of ways.
Lots of ways. We're going to just have a little fun, and I'm going to play a bumper first, and then we'll have a little fun
Yes, we will.
right now.
Right now.
We read your submissions because reading your mind would just be creepy.
And it's time for Tell Us One Thing. It's brought to you by...
The Iron Man Challenge. It's one of the most difficult challenges in World of Warcraft. You level your character wear only grey and white quality armor. No using potions, no elixirs, no heirlooms, and most importantly, no dying. If you die, even once, you start over. WoWChallenges.com would like to announce the very first official Warlords of Draenor Iron Man. His name is Yearn Man, a Night Elf hunter on Earthen Ring, US. They made their way from level 1 to 100 during Warlords, which is why they're a little different. Tauren Think Tank and WoWChallenges.com would like to send a huge congratulations to Yearn Man. Great job, sir. Thousands have tried. Less than a dozen have succeeded during Warlords of Draenor in this ultimate test of endurance and strength. Are you up for the challenge? If so, you can sign up at WoWChallenges.com and also follow them all the fun at WoWChallenges on Twitter.
I love that accent.
Thank you.
I love it. All
Congrats
right.
to Yearn Man. That's awesome. He got from
Yeah.
level 1 to 100 in Warlords, so he didn't. I think it's Dutch, or it's one of the it's Iron Man in one of the Western European languages. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But
it's spelled
it's,
Jernmand.
Mhm.
Yermand or something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
It's very, very cool. Very cool. Okay. This one is from Ballas, and he gave this to Marconin. So we're going to give it to the show. Hypothetical situation. Blizzard announces the next expansion, and it's all about time travel. What ancient or future empire, civilization, or culture would you like to see? Personally, I'd love to see the civilization that built Oldham alive and thriving. And yes, Marconin, we kind of discussed it on Monday, so pick one of the ones we talked about or another, and I'd love to hear Jules's input. And a slash moo to Marconin for meeting me for lunch was amazing. Take care, guys, from Ballas.
That was pretty cool. Yes, Chief, more time travel. This time we're going to get engineers to engineer cars that fly. Oh, it'd be great.
Yeah?
But let's see. What ancient or future empire would I like to see? I kind of want to see how the Nerubians were a little bit back in the day. Also, we were kind of what Ballas talked about. We were talking about the Emerald Dream. And, we could always go back in time to before the Sundering, before Kalimdor got split into the multiple continents that it was. So you could see Mogu in there, before they got turned back into stone. You would see the Pandaren as a prouder race, the Trolls. Before there were even Night Elves or Blood Elves, you'd see the Trolls, you'd see the Pandaren, and, all of that stuff, and just see maybe see all these hints at what was to come.
Yeah.
We've been seeing that already with Warlords, because I didn't know it, but Murad is Garona half Orkin's uncle. I did not know that. I didn't know that much about the lore. Like Garona, your legendary follower, that's Murad's niece.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's his niece in the prime timeline. So it's crazy. And so you see these little seeds and these little hints at what was there. I would love to see that. Or we've seen possible futures before, like in
Hmm.
the in Cataclysm with those the end of time dungeon,
Yeah.
where Deathwing was impaled on Wormrest Temple and all that. I would it'd be neat to kind of play the what if game like we're already playing. Because I really don't know that I would want a time travel expansion because we're doing kind of one
Yeah.
alternate dimension type thing, and trust me, I love time travel. Back to the Future is my favorite movie. Love time travel. Love the idea of it.
Yep.
To go see things in the past and see how, you know, live beyond my years. However Doc Brown says it at the end of Back to the Future. But anyway, you know, oh, figure go ahead 30 years, see how things are going. But it's the what if game is great to see how it would play out. So I think, possibly the Nerubians, all of the kind of the insectoid races, we
Hmm.
don't see a whole lot of them. There were ideas of more of their stuff in Wrath,
Hmm.
really bring out like a whole raid zone dedicated to them and stuff like that. So that would be kind of cool. I guess I'll just go with them, or also go back in time and see how the Titans, see some of the battles between the Titans and the old gods,
Yeah.
all that stuff, and just see all this mess happen. Like, forgot Yasarj dying and becoming the Shah. In Pandora, he was the old god that fell in
Yeah.
the battle between the old gods and the Titans. To see that happen would just be, oh wow, it's like going back and seeing the Declaration of Independence get inside.
Yeah.
It's something you want to see with your own eyes. But so that's I guess that'd be for me. What about you, Jules?
All this stuff is like lore, lore,
Lore, lore.
lore, lore. And I'm
I,
sitting here going, you know what I want to do? I want them to load us up into big spaceships and blast us out into space, and we find a brand new civilization that existed in space.
yeah.
And there's a new race out there that we've never heard about because they lived in space and they've been staring at us and watching us from afar and going, who are these crazy people and why do they always fight with each other?
Hmm.
That's what I would want to see. And I don't know what they are. I don't know what kind of race they are, but apparently they can live in space. And they say, oh, you guys made it up here? Okay, you can come hang out here and see what all the stuff we've done. We can tell you all of our technology and all the things that we've learned so that you can do it better down there.
So Star Trek First Contact. Gotcha.
Sure. I
I know you haven't seen it,
I
but
know. So
the Trekkies will know it.
I'm not stealing it from Star Trek because I've never seen it. So I can vouch. Everybody can vouch
will
for
be
this. I've never seen it.
fixed. This will be fixed one day.
I know. Goof.
One day.
Space whales?
Space
Chief Volta
whales.
just said space whales.
That's another Star Trek episode too.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm not a time travel fan anymore. I mean, obviously it's nice to you get your timeline and you learn the lore and you learn where you are and you see all the story and then you go, well, how did we get here? And
Hmm.
so it's nice to be able to go back in time to see like, okay, that's how we got here. But I don't necessarily want to be living in that time frame. It's nice to
Yeah.
go back and get the history lesson, but it's not necessarily as fun to be living in that time world and be like, I don't know where I am anymore. So,
Yeah, time travel is nice, but if I went back far enough where there's not internet or there's not technology, I wouldn't like that.
right.
I wouldn't like that at all. I miss my I
Exactly.
would I would miss my technology and my medicine. I don't want someone to bleed me out because I'm sick and they think I have too much blood or something like that. So yeah, there's something to be said for the present. So
All right then. Something to be said
let's
for the
see.
present.
Yeah. So the next one comes from Memonth. You just helped settle a new planet and you're ready to name it. What name and why? And then he's got a
It's
I
just
can't click
it's
on
like
the
a
link.
GIF that's a picture of like a new Earth or something like that. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
it's a new planet. We're ready to name it. We've just settled it. What do we call it?
Yeah.
Well, I think this planet would be inhabited by all of the nerds and the geeks and the gamers of the world. So we will call it, what should we call it?
And Nerdvana's been taken.
And Nerdvana has been taken. I don't know. I shall call this land this land. Thanks, Jordana.
Welcome to Plan This Land.
Oh, let's see. I think I would just say, you know what? This is I can't call it Marconia. I'm not gonna call it Marconia. Jules Vana.
Jules Vana. There you go.
I don't know. This is a tough question. I have no idea. I can't name a planet. What are you talking about? I'll just call it Catville.
Catville. Planet Catville in the Marconi sector.
Or it'd be Catopia. It's Catopia.
Yeah,
there it is. It's Catopia.
So lots of catnip and windowsills to sit on.
It's my
Bask
planet.
in
I'll
the
do what
sun.
I want with it. If you're allergic to cats, you can't come to my planet.
Yeah, it's a Class C planet or a Class F planet for feline.
Hey, that would be my ideal planet. There would be awesome cats everywhere with people who like cats. And yeah, there you go. I'm happy.
Yep. And Bill in the chat room stole mine. I'd call it Planet Bob. After anybody's seen Titan AE, it's one of the best animated sci-fi movies I've ever seen, and that's a reference to Titan AE.
Oh, I feel bad because 2020 is allergic to cats. So here's what we would do. Catopia would have a magic formula for anybody who is allergic to cats and wants to be there, and they are worthy. They are deemed worthy. Then it will magically give you the cat-free. You will have like the no allergy for cats. It'll just
Like
it's
Thor's
magic.
hammer,
It's in,
but for cats.
it's in the atmosphere.
Yeah,
It cancels out your allergies because it's Catopia.
and it's her planet. She'll do whatever she dang well pleases.
That's right. It's my planet.
I do like Marconia though. That's pretty cool.
I do too.
I like that.
I want to name the show Marconia.
Welcome to Planet Marconia.
Oh man.
I like that one. That was a good question.
This one was hard. I was like, come on, what are you gonna name a planet? And then you give it to somebody like me who's like, I like kitties. I'll name it after the
cats. I'll name it after my breakfast, scrambled eggs.
It's a good
or
thing
whatever,
you don't
you
give
know.
it to like a 12-year-old and they'll be like, it's Planet Sparkle Ponies. It's like
Or Planet Booger.
a Planet Booger. I don't know. I think I might change my answer to Planet
To
Booger.
Planet Booger. Okay.
That was pretty damn funny.
Oh.
All right, we're going to move on from Ranimal CTR. If you had to change the name of the show, seeing as none of the hosts actually play a Tauren, what might it be?
We're not Taurens, but it's okay. We're still cool think tank. And I do play a Tauren. I just don't play him right now.
Okay, small aside here. Just small aside. The thing about it is that the name is an alliteration. It's triple T, Tauren Think Tank. And the show has never been about Taurens. It's never, ever been about Taurens. We just had the slash move because that was cool and it was cute. And because the name started, because Rem and I both played Taurens and that's how it got named. But the show has never been about Taurens, so I would never change it. Because, you know, I mean, I'm not afraid to talk about other games besides WoW. What?
There are other games besides WoW?
What?
When did this happen? Where was I?
But the thing is that then the show has never hinged on me playing a Tauren in order to do the show. It's just, you know, it's transcended the name beyond it. And so, I know that we are in a very delicate time right now. A very delicate time right now because people are starting to see some shifts happening with the World of Warcraft not being the marquee game for Blizzard anymore. And people are like, oh, blasphemy. How could you say that, Jules? But it's true. I think it's true.
Yeah, it is changing. Hearthstone is a beast. We all know Heroes is out now, and
Yeah.
of course Overwatch is coming out. And there's not a lot of MMOs that come out today with the same WoW formula. You can't really do the WoW formula anymore. New games can. We're grandfathered
Right.
in WoW. I still pay my $15 a month like every other 7 point whatever million people.
Yeah. Exactly.
But you can't do that with any other MMO these days. People want free to play, and they want microtransactions, and they want other stuff.
Yeah.
The industry has changed in the last 10 years.
It has. And, we're also in this kind of microcosm of WoW related podcasts that we, in the last 3 years that we've done the show, WoW was the marquee. That was the one that everybody did the podcast about. And it's funny because we got this tell us one thing question. And I had conversations with 2 different show hosts of WoW podcasts about this very topic. And they both said the same thing to me. They said, we have to shift. We have to start evolving. And, because the world that we live in right now is that it's not all about World of Warcraft. And so, and I'm okay with that. Like I hope people aren't going to try to throw me on the linchpin, but I'm okay with that. And we have a very unique concept that even though we can have this show and have it named after a World of Warcraft character, but we got it. Like, we can do what we do and nothing changes. We can talk about WoW, we can talk about Hearthstone, we can talk about Heroes of the Storm, we can talk about Diablo. It doesn't matter because it's the same thing. We're about gamers. And
Yeah.
I believe wholeheartedly that I have now become a Blizzard gamer. Now,
I
I'm
know
not
I
just a
have.
WoW gamer, I'm a Blizzard gamer.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that there's a lot of things that are changing. So Midnight had the best answer for this, which is therapy think tank. But
I don't know. I like Chief Volgens too, the troll think tank.
so throw a think tank, and it will be and it follows pretty much every game except Diablo and StarCraft to have a troll in it. So yeah, your dad just said try speaking without your hands. There is no way. I cannot speak without my
Can't
hands.
do it. It is not possible.
It is not possible. I do it all the time, especially when I get animated. So tough nuggets. I do talk with my hands. So I don't know. I just went off on my soapbox. I'm down off of it now. What's your answer to this question?
Oh goodness, I don't really want to change the name because it is the name. What happened when they brought out new Coca-Cola? The word "new" caused people to hate it, as well as the taste. From what I understand, I don't remember it, but they don't want they don't want the new thing. They want it. They want to identify with the old thing, with the original. And I think, even if the times do change and the games do change, the format probably won't change because we're not about just World of Warcraft. I love World of Warcraft. I play it a lot, but what we do to the show is about the people who play games. And if they play different games, then so be it.
Yeah.
They play different games. They're still gamers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can't think of any alliteration that would adequately portray what we're about. This would take a big brainstorming session, and it's one that I don't want to have.
I don't care about
So
it.
I don't know.
I'm
Maybe just have
happy.
it.
We're not going
Maybe.
outside of Blizzard to. Excuse me. I would say we're not going outside of Blizzard, and even if we did, I would still keep the name because we are about the community that has become part of this. I call it the Blizzard community now. We've gone beyond the World of Warcraft community. We're now in the Blizzard community, and I think that that's the world that we're living in. But yeah, so and if someday we start going towards things like League of Legends and Smite and all those games that do have communities like that, that's awesome. But personally, I don't know those people because I don't play the games, and so we don't go in that
Yeah.
realm. I'm going where I play and where we're the happiest. So in any case, that was like turn that went really off topic, but
That's all right. Tell us one thing. We told him 5 things.
we did. The show is going to be freaking long. All right.
Oh yeah, it is. We're getting close to the end.
Yeah, keep moving along. And Mr.
Yeah, moving along. From Lord Melvin. You're forced to change, or is this mine or yours?
This is
No, it's
yours.
mine. You're forced to change the name of your main, but Blizz removes any name restrictions. What's your new name?
Commander Butt
Commander Butt Munch. We
I am
have a winner.
so tempted. I am so tempted to create Butt Munch and then get the commander title. I am really tempted, but I won't because I don't do that.
Oh, you could do it. You could do it.
I can't though, because then I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm an officer in the guild, and I can't really show up and
Make it on a different server. Different server.
I am held to higher standards than that, and it sucks because I
Why? 'Cause
can't
it's
be
somebody-
juvenile.
Somebody will see your real ID. It's like, oh, Jules is on Butt Munch again today. She sure is leveling Butt Munch a lot. Butt Munch is almost ready for Northrend.
See, Midnight just confirmed it. I don't know if we can invite you into CTR with that name. See, I've trained them too well.
I've seen some that are. I've seen some in the guild that are kind of like, I don't know.
I know. There's usually the ones that are kind of like, kind of questionable. See, I remember the days where I wanted to have first name, last name for a character.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have the two name system, which would be very cool. I'd like that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. And then you could have like a double name, something like, I am Julana Jessamine, because that's like the two characters that I had. I had Jessamine and I had Julana. Those were my big character names, and I would like to have those two. But Brass Monkey.
Then I have to think up of a different name.
Yeah, Mark
I've already
Honan
got
is
one
like
name.
perfect.
Thank you.
It is perfect. Like it's a great name. It's a 3-syllable name. It's awesome. It has very unique qualities to you. You know, it's just, that's what it is. It's like the perfect name.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm glad I came up with it on the spot, just randomly when I was picking characters.
And it winds up becoming a legacy.
It winds up. Yes, it does. Because I was just making different race class combinations. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of
That's okay.
pop filter issues. Pop filter fell off.
I don't know
and
why
it
my nose
could
just
not get
started
on there.
running randomly, but it did. So, all right.
Well,
So, would you
people
change your name?
mispronounce
You
my
wouldn't
name.
change
They
your
call
name.
it macaroni. I get called macaroni every once in a while, and I don't like it. But also, didn't some guy named Marconi invent some microphone or something? I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Something like that.
history
And I
stuff.
found that interesting. What would I name my main? I don't know. Maybe I'd go back with my old standard from The Matrix and be Archduke again,
Archduke.
or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's probably what I would do.
Awesome. I would go with the 2-name system. That's my official
The
answer.
2 name.
All right. From Captain Gallo, would you rather know everything in the universe has to offer, but in exchange lose all emotions, or remain the way you are now? So
Ignorance
you get to
is bliss.
ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance
So you could
is
know
bliss.
everything and have no emotions, or you can stay what you are now.
What does it profit a man to gain the whole world but lose his own soul?
Very profound.
I would rather know what I have now and have the emotions I have than be a walking Wikipedia.
Yeah. Well, and the thing about that too is, and because I agree with you, is that part of enjoyment in life is discovery.
Mm-hmm.
If you knew everything, if you didn't have to seek out answers, if you knew it all and never needed to, what's the point? Like, you have nothing to strive for. You have, like, if you wanted to say, I really wish that I could know how to draw, and you all of a sudden know how to draw and everything that there is about drawing, and you never have to strive for knowledge for anything again in your life, it would be you would be the most boring person in the world.
I know Kung Fu. You just download it.
Neo. Yeah, so I would absolutely not want to know everything.
Yeah. It's like Dr. Manhattan in The Watchmen, if you've seen the movie or read the book. I've done both. He is essentially a godlike figure, but he doesn't understand human emotion. And he even though he once was human, and so he can create life from nothing. He can travel the universe, but he doesn't understand a simple relationships
Mm-hmm.
and doesn't isn't able to, he can be there on like pencil and paper, but the subtlety and he doesn't see a painting. He sees water, leftover pigment, parchment made from whatever tree. He knows where the tree came from that made the parchment. He knows what the frame was made out of, but he doesn't see the beauty and the complexity and the point of it all.
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
he knows he knows the what but not the why,
Mm-hmm.
and I would rather not be that way.
Me too. Yeah. No dice, Captain
Nope.
Callow.
No tanks. Good question though.
Yeah, it's a good question.
And then next up, did you answer? Yeah, you
Yeah,
answered
this
yours.
one's
Yeah.
yours.
Meerkat X. What cartoon was your favorite as a child?
She-Ra, She-Ra.
I knew that one.
Yes. I have to watch She-Ra and He-Man and the Secret of the Sword for episode 100 of I Remembered It Better. I have never seen this.
Ooh,
Apparently it is on YouTube and I
there you
must watch
go.
it. And here's the problem. I haven't watched She-Ra since I was 10. And so, because there's those like preserved memories where it was like the best thing ever, and I don't want to ruin that by watching it again.
That's true. Yeah, you don't want to you don't want to be like, oh, I remembered it better than it was. Oh, you
Yeah.
don't want to be that.
No, and Arcane's like, what about Gem? I loved Gem too. I was a big Gem fan.
Hmm.
And then like when I was younger, my favorite cartoons, I used to watch Tom and Jerry religiously. I loved
Yeah,
Tom and Jerry. And some of the Looney Tunes ones, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, those were those there. But yeah, it was totally She-Ra. She was my obsession as a kid.
definitely.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of Looney Tunes as well. Tom and Jerry, I remember a whole lot of, which my parents who were watching, they can vouch for that. Um, Also, I would probably say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the
Mhm.
cartoon series, because I mean, Ghostbusters, the animated series too, but really Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
A lot of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would have to be my go-to, because I watched a lot of cartoons like every other kid back then without the internet on Saturday mornings. I watched everything. I remember Dino Riders, Dino Saucers, Denver the Last Dinosaur. Are you picking up a theme here? Uh, and then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all that stuff.
It's funny because since you're younger than I am, your
Hmm.
block of cartoons is
It's a little
quite
different.
different than mine because it was Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes, and then there was Mighty Mouse,
Oh
and
yeah, Mighty Mouse.
yep, it
That's
was
another one I liked a lot.
and then there was the Underdog. Underdog was one of them.
Hmm.
So it was that kind of block of things, and then we had He-Man and She-Ra. There was also like during that time was when Transformers was out,
Yep.
and GoBots. The GoBots, they didn't actually have the cartoons, but they had the toys.
The
GI
toys, yeah.
Joe.
Yep,
Um,
I watched a lot of GI Joe.
yeah. So there was, but so there was that block of time in there where we would watch those, and then Kane just pointed out Animaniacs. That's what I
Uh,
watched in
Voltron. That's
college.
one
Voltron.
I can't believe I forgot about Voltron. Yeah, thank you, Brass Monkey. Voltron. That one's. Oh, and yes, MacGyver. Lion
Oh,
Voltron over Car Voltron.
Popeye. I'm a huge Popeye fan. How could I forget Popeye?
Oh yeah.
I love the Popeye cartoons, especially the old ones.
Hmm.
Oh, it's awesome.
Memory
I
Lane.
love it. This is what we
Uh,
do on I Remembered It Better all the time. So
yeah, Animaniacs, Darkwing Duck, DuckTales, Tailspin, all of those. I watched a lot of them. And then, of course, with Nickelodeon, Doug, Rugrats,
yeah,
Ren and Stimpy, a
Ren and
big one,
Stimpy. Yep.
Rocco's Modern Life, Hey Arnold, all that stuff.
Oh my gosh. gosh, that was past
And
my
my magic
time.
nose goblins, Ren. I picked them myself.
Inspector Gadget. Watched a lot of that one. I remember
Oh,
that
I
too.
hated Inspector Gadget. Ugh. So, hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Okay, last one.
Go Gadget podcast.
From Super Serious 13. Is there something that you've always wanted to do? For example, learning to knit if you can't knit.
Mm. I can't knit, but I never wanted to really learn how to knit.
No.
Oh goodness. Scuba dive. That's a big
Ooh.
one. I'd love to scuba dive.
That would be awesome. I've done like when you do the snorkeling type
Hmm.
thing, and it gets a little daunting, but I still really enjoyed it because it was beautiful. But scuba diving would be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
What is it? I've like I brought up drawing before. I've always wanted to learn how to draw better, but I'm stick figures all the way. Like I just don't have the creative part of me to do that. And I so a lot of the things that I've wanted to learn and never did is just like stuff that I've tried to learn, like how do you edit audio files? Well, I learned how to do that.
Hmm.
How do you do audio mixing and that kind of thing? I learned how to do that. That was really cool. um I think if I wanted to, really would like to, I would love to learn how to program a really cool website. The
Yeah.
coding stuff would be way over my head, but I would still think it would be awesome to do. So, but I just turned around. The other thing too, which is something that I've been dealing with lately, which I think is awesome, is like someone who can design in Photoshop. I wish I
Hmm.
knew how to do that. Like, send me back to school and teach me Photoshop because I would love it. It would save
I
my life 100 times over for things I need to get done.
hmm and I have a basic working knowledge of Photoshop, but nothing close to what people do these days at all.
It's amazing stuff. I'm so impressed with people can do that. So, um,
Hmm.
so yours would be scuba diving. Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of my main one is scuba diving. There's a lot. Like I'd love to learn how to play other musical instruments,
Mm-hmm.
like baritone saxophone, bass guitar,
Yeah.
or even upright bass would be cool. But yeah, scuba diving is the first one that came to mind.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, that is tell us one thing for the evening. You guys gave us some really good questions this week.
Yeah,
Thank
they're
you.
really good ones this week.
Some very
They
thoughtful
always
ones.
are, but
This show is going to go on forever, and we apologize for that. We got very talky today, but that
yes.
is because we love to talk to you guys. So we're going to start closing things up with, first of all, we have some feedback, and let's do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now bring you. Wow, that's a lot of feedback.
We have an update, and I have to say, I think Mark Cronin will agree with me, that this is one of the best letters that we have received in quite a long time.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, and so
Absolutely.
super happy to be able to read this one. First of all, I just want to express my utmost gratitude for addressing my letter, especially to you, Mark Honan, because now every time I have an ideation and start my process to work through it, I start to crack up thinking that I am channeling Clippy. I want to thank you for challenging my assumptions. I started working with my insurance to find a therapist that will work primarily online. To my surprise, they had recently started to keep track of therapists that do work over the internet. That process was, however, cut short. I have stumbled into a dedicated route out of a distribution center in northern Indiana that will allow me to have a more traditional encounter with a therapist. Furthermore, your challenge has encouraged me to evaluate my status as a truck driver. There are many other positions in the transportation industry that I could do that would provide with a more 9-to-5 type environment. I was injured on the job and was off the truck for 18 months a few years ago. During that time, I went to a community college and got 1 semester away from an AS degree before I was fully healed and got back on the truck. If I finished that degree, my opportunities would blossom. In conclusion, you two are an inspiration. From Fracta from AIE.
And your letter's an inspiration to us and a lot of others too. So thank you for that and for writing back.
This is the letter that we got 2 weeks ago from Fracta talking about how he had been driving a truck for many years, couldn't go to therapy, had helped treat himself through suicidal ideations up to 30 times a day. But by writing his letter and listening to our discussion, and this is the thing I'm most proud of, is that both Mark Honan and I contributed very strong parts of this that have allowed for challenging beliefs that are believed to be set in stone. You know, this is how it is. It cannot change, and I must figure it out from this structure. And I love when we have the opportunity to challenge those ideas and say, but why?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
why?
definitely.
Yeah. And it just, so we read this letter and the both of us were like, it's the best letter ever. Thank you, Fracta. You are an inspiration to us for everything that you've shared with us. And your inspiration has helped other people like Bill in our chat room tonight. So thank you for that. Thank you, community, for being a part of this. And we love you guys so much.
Yes, we do. We love you all.
Feedback time. Feedback time. Oh, I didn't actually have any more feedback. That was the only one. We have slash moves to go in there. Because I guess Jules was a slacker and didn't pull any questions for the feedback.
That's okay.
That's okay.
More next week.
Where did I put my moo? Here it is. Slash moves.
From Zeph AIE, a slash moo to the underscore absynthia for making me smile with a screenshot from game.
From BBC Alex, totally stressed out with final essays. Slash moo to my classmate for offering to proofread my writing. Big thanks to Felix.
Very nice. From Evlix or Evlix, slash moo to all my guildmates in at exhumed underscore SSE on the Shadow Song slash Azun EU connected realm.
Nice. From J Merriam 86 slash moo to Darkspear Never Dies Guild on Magtheridon EU Horde for their first Black Hand kill after 3 weeks of wipes.
Congratulations, guys. That's awesome.
Yay.
And also, we've got slash moo to my husband, Sergeant Zim, for putting up with chemo-induced nausea, insta-menopause, and the long drives. Happy anniversary. You're still my tank. Love, Varian. And no, we can't, and I know we can't moo you, but love and appreciate the show. Thanks. You would have been the third one tonight.
I know, right? You have been the third one because it's not going to end. From Bill Y. I want to give a slash moo to my girl for getting us tickets to American Idiot last night.
Very cool.
Yeah. And there's one in the chat room for you. I'll read it so you don't have to. From the game case, slash moo to Mark Honan for the help with my awesome phone case to Rubber Chicken Coalition for finally getting Black Hand down. And slash moo to Midnight for just being a great friend.
I agree on that one too.
Yep.
She's a good friend.
She is. That is our slash moves. If you have a slash move for somebody that you would like to have read on the show, something that someone has done that's awesome, you can do so. Send it to our Twitter account at Tauren Think Tank. It is also available to you on our questions at taurenthinktank.com email. You can email us with it too. It's the way to do it. It's how you do it. You could put them on Facebook. That's okay.
Yeah,
Facebook.com
you can do that.
/Tauren Think Tank.
So. Many ways to slash moo.
That is so true. And our show is available on iTunes, on Stitcher Radio, on our website. You can check out our new website design. Well, it's not the new design, but we have some tweaks that were made on the website. Now, all of our YouTube videos appear on the website with our shows. So you can get the audio, you can get the video, all of it's there. And that's taurenthinktank.com. So...
It's a one-stop moo shop.
Yes, it is. Sir, what is going on with you on this lovely upcoming week?
Dear madam, I have another week at the occupational area I call work. I have hopefully a shorter week than the last two, because I'm only supposed to be working 3 or 4 days. And then I will go home and enjoy a nice relaxing end to the week. So maybe more time for World of Warcraft, maybe a little more time for Heroes of the Storm. Actually, our good buddy Nate is going to help me not suck so much at that game. So we will work on my game, and we will see how that goes on the next stream, shall we?
So that is one of the many things that I will be doing this week, other than, of course, sleeping and hopefully eating something every couple of hours, maybe. That's the way we usually do that. So how about you? Do you have I Remembered It Better this week?
I don't know how I can follow that.
Maybe you should do it first from now on.
Maybe I should talk like this for mine. My friend Nate will help me not suck. That is the best line I've heard all night. I Remembered It Better is going to be happening this week, and it is a special week because it is our 100th episode of I Remembered It Better.
That is fantastic.
100! So we are going to do something special. We're going to do like I said, we're going to watch He-Man and She-Ra and the Secret of the Sword or something like that. We're going to have, so it'll be actually all of the hosts. So the former host, Brian Kidd, who I replaced, he's coming back for a special episode, which will be all four of us on the show. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So you can check it out. It's I Remembered It Better. You can find it on iTunes or IRI Better on Twitter. That's how we are found. That's how we are found, I should say.
That's how we are found.
That's how we are found. I talk good.
I talk good. We find on internet.
We find on internet. Marcona, this show is really long. We're going to bring it home, okay?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it right now. Tauren Think Tank is a proud member of the Signals Media All-Star Network. Find out more about the other great shows in the network by going to signalsmedia.com.
I think I have a desire to talk like the old Micro Machines commercial guy, the guy that can talk really fast.
Go for it.
Our voiceover is done by two mages, Arcane and Mark Conan. You can find us outside of the show at a website, torrentthink.com, which is all our podcast information on how to get in touch with us. Don't forget your Triple D t-shirts, which I'm wearing a t-shirt right now at /lewd.com. 2 designs to choose from in different colors. You can also like us on Facebook, facebook.com/torrentthinktank. You can find us on Twitter for the show at Tauren Think Tank. You can find Jules at Jules RPG and Mark Conan, myself at Mark Conan. Wow, you can also chat with us on the forum, so you can give those more some love at forums.signalmedia.com.
Tauren Think Tank.
The H is silent.
The H is silent. Thank you, everyone. I can't follow that either. Thank you, chat room, for being with us tonight every Saturday night at 9 o'clock Central Time at twitch.tv/Tauren Think Tank. Our mobile audio stream is through Alpha Geek Radio at tunein.alphageekradio.com. You can download the TuneIn app and listen to that live on the road as well. We love seeing you guys with us any way you can be. Mm-hmm. What a show, Mark Conan. Thank you so much for being awesome, as always.
Well, and thank you for being awesome. And thank you, chat room, for another fantastic live chat with us. We love you all. And thank you to all the listeners and viewers, however you listen, wherever you listen, whenever you listen. Thank you so much.
And I will follow that to say, for myself, for Mark Conan, for Arcane, for the entire chat room. Until next time. /moo, everybody.
/moo.
Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad. This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
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 Really? I did nail the outro, Marconin. MacGyver. MacGyver, not Marconin. Look at I'm doing it again. I'm doing it again. I got it fixed. Like I fixed it. So it works. It's all fixed.
Yep, it is now working, and we stuck the landing.
And twice in a row now. I've been like, I stuck the landing and it worked and it's good. And oh my gosh, it's so hot in this room right now. I can't even tell you. So hot.
You gotta open the Moo Conan.
Moo Conan.
That's what I should rename my character
Moo Conan.
I'm gonna make a Moo Conan on some Horde server that I play on.
Nobody steal that from him, please.
Do not snipe Moo Conan, please. Or I will be upset.
Marconin, do you have your Kermit flail ready? We have a new patron.
Oh, we do?
We do have a new patron during the show. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Eric. Kermit flail.
My arms are too long. They're going
Thank
above the
you
camera.
so much. Thank you for pledging to the show. We so appreciate it. Yeah. See, if you do that during the show, we actually Kermit flail you. But on Twitter, we just do it virtually. So. It's Gator. Thank you, Eric. You're the best. Thank you so much for supporting the show. It means a ton to us.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yes. We're getting that much closer to that database, man.
We are. We're getting very, very close.
Jules has more work to do when the database comes around. Yes.
I will help where I can.
Yes, you will.
You're like, you're dang right you will.
Start doing data entry, man.
Uh-huh.
Yep. I mailed out some t-shirts this week. I mailed out some keychains this week. It's pretty awesome.
Oh,
It's pretty awesome.
I love those keychains.
I know. I gotta say, man, stamps.com is like my lifesaver. That is the thing. But
Oh, yeah?
let me tell you guys a little secret, because stamps.com does cost you, like, there's a monthly fee for it. But if you send out a bunch of stuff from your house, or you send out a bunch of packages, but you send like maybe like 15 or less in a month, you can get stamps.com, and when they'll sign you up for like $15 a month, and then you call them to cancel, and they'll say, well, before you go, would you consider this offer? And they'll drop you down to $4.99 a month, and it will just limit the number of packages that you can send. So for
Really?
$5 a month, you can send as many, like 15 packages throughout you print the postage, slap it on your package, and drop it in the mailbox as you drive out. Like, that is so cool. So I'm doing that. Thank you, patrons, because you paid for that.
That is cool.
We have to send you stuff, so you help me do that from my house instead of having to stand in the post office line, which is like, yes, I hate the post office. I hate the post office. I do. So, I'm so warm. Okay. I'm just trying to read back on the chat room.
Glad you got it, MacGyver. I'm glad it's. I just want to make sure that you reserved it. We'll hash that out here in a little bit.
Let's see. Spectral Tiger. I'm just reading back the names or the chat room. That was a fun show.
Mm-hmm.
We had a little Hurricane Hazakostas in there.
Oh, Hurricane Hazakostas. I don't know if I should tell you about this idea I have or not, Jules.
You didn't tell me in public?
No, not in public.
Oh, you're not going to do it?
I don't know. I may tell you after the stream.
That's fine. I'll be here.
Sorry, folks.
Uh-oh, Marconian just kind of teased you.
Maybe. It's not gonna be that hard to throw together, but I just need to. I may actually do it tonight. I've just been kind of thinking about it all day, especially due to some of the news this week that happened.
Okay. All right.
I am a tease. I'm sorry.
Yes. All right. Lay out your show titles.
Such a tease.
Such a tease.
Expose yourself to new people.
Where did I put my moo? All right.
One stop moo shop. The H is silent.
A-hole colored glasses. Planet Marconia.
Feisty Jules is feisty. That's another one.
One stop moo shop. That's a good one. The H is silent.
What does that mean?
Butt ton of perfume.
Butt ton of perfume. I remember that one.
Oh, we did have some good one-liners today.
We really did. Such a, there's such a tease.
Grandma Jules knitting hour. Go away, Ursangus. Go move to Fargo. All right.
You'd be around friends if you did.
Yeah, he is moving to Fargo, actually.
Oh, really?
He is. Yeah, that's why
wow.
I said that. He is. He's relocating. He's going to be working the same place that Eve works.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
He's moving from Baltimore to Fargo. Do you guys? Okay, so you want us to say "expose yourself to new people" on our show title? You wanted this to be episode 148. Expose yourself to new people. This is
Jules,
what you want.
20 wants it to be, come on,
Come on.
come on.
I really do like One Stop Moose Shop.
I do too. I like that one. That one was pretty cool.
They're saying,
Stop Moose Shop.
you are the most horrible people in the world. I love you, but you suck. You are horrible people. Horrible.
When I recorded the audio for that Hurricane Hazikostas, I did that on Sunday morning, and I had to go down to the whenever I'm on the road, I'll usually go to whatever little office that they have in the hotels, but this one is being remodeled. So when I actually checked into the hotel, I was in the conference room, which was like a makeshift lobby while they remodeled the lobby. And then they moved the lobby into the proper spot, but the conference room was still kind of half turned into the lobby. And so I asked the guy it's like, I know you got to kind of reserve the conference room, but can I like go in there and record for a bit? Because my coworker who's in the room with me was asleep and snoring, so I couldn't really, it's Hurricane had it. It's coming up. Couldn't do that, so I just went down to the conference room, and it's a big room, so it echoed, and that's why I had to have the music bed underneath it, because if you listen for it, you'll hear some echo, because this mic picks up everything.
Yeah.
Everything. And so I when I did the whole like Arnold is getting, or Crowman is getting whisked away, I was like, come on, I had to take off my headphones. I was like, no, come on.
I could hear you go backwards. Like you can hear it go back.
Away.
That's awesome.
I turned away. I ran halfway across the room and did that second that you like so much, 20.
That is the best. Oh, I love that thing. That was very funny. And Marconin has some really cool, fun new ideas that are the one that's coming up next month for patrons is hilarious. I can't wait for this one to get done.
Yeah, it's one that's been floating around in my head for a couple months now, and so it'll hopefully be good.
Yeah. So these are so good that we can't just we have to keep them. We want the patrons to have them first, so you guys get them like at least a week prior, and then and then we put them out for everybody to hear because it's so fun. All right, so I think my choice is One Stop Moo Shop with expose yourself to new people being your subtitle, so that we give the chat room what they want. But I'm not gonna make that the show title. I'm sorry. We have standards. We have standards for this show, and there's something that you need to do.
Call your mother.
Call your mother. Exactly. Call your mother.
Maybe because they brought pizza.
Oh, really?
But I was going to bring like a pizza. We're gonna sit and have pizza.
I love that so much.
I really enjoyed the show. I said, "Welcome back, Jules. It was a nice show."
I thought you were going to Florida.
We had. Well, I'm on Skype, talking on Skype. I am in Florida. Standards. We may have standards that may be very low, but we have them.
Standards. We've got standards there.
Oh, standards.
Yeah, that's right.
Standards. I thought about watching Arnold Schwarzenegger like quotes. That's why at the very end he's like, "Oh, don't worry, folks, he'll be back." That was my little nod to Terminator.
I was thinking like there would be something like, "Where's the chopper?" That'd have been too easy.
The next part where he could, we could do another Channel 3 Draenor news thing, but instead he's going to be Crowman. I'm in the chopper now. We're flying over Hellfire Citadel, and they're fighting at us, and it's crazy. You could do that.
Our t-shirts are the /loot.com, so it's spelled out SLASHLOOT.com for our t-shirts.
Yeah,
that's where you get them.
There's the classic one.
That's the classic one.
Here.
That's what it is.
And there's a couple other designs.
Yep, there's the one that is the one that we have a different version of in for the BlizzCon T-shirt. That's the one with with the Tauren think tank like in the background, kind of scattered all over the place. And then there's the other one that is like, it looks like the Tauren think tank is below the logo and it's like stacked up. It's our on the header of our Twitch stream. That's what the text is. That's what it looks like. So yes, it's very cool. They take care of us over there. All right, I think it's time for us to go to bed. I'm tired.
Yeah, I may take a nap because we forgot to say we were gonna be on the thing
Oh,
tomorrow.
that's okay. We'll talk about it next week when we do the thing.
Talk about that tomorrow.
But
when
the chat
we've
room
done
can
the thing.
can know this. We're gonna be guests on Girls Gone WoW tomorrow. The lovely folks at Girls Gone WoW have invited us to join them for the show. We don't know what we're talking about yet, so we can't tell you what we're talking about yet. But
I'll be the minority.
Yeah, I think they'll publish the show tomorrow. I think that's when they usually do it. So it'll be like tomorrow night. They'll be out there. So, yeah.
That'll be cool. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, they're so nice. They're super, super nice. It's been a long time since I've been on that show. So it'd be nice to come back and talk about stuff. I don't think we have a live stream. I don't think they live stream the show. We are recording it at 2:00 in the afternoon our time, because they are in Great Britain area, Europe. So it's like somewhere. 8:00 their time. So we'll be recording at 2:00 in the afternoon.
And it's like 2:00 in the morning for me. So I'm going to be going to bed a little earlier because I have to work that night. I have to work at 8:00, like after that.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be. That's why I'm going to sleep like at maybe 3 or 4 a.m. our time.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah. Plus I'm tired anyway, so it works out. I've kind of been just sleeping when I can these past few days.
Yeah, exactly. All right, folks, we're gonna get out of here, and we'll be back next week. And we love you.
And we will see you next week. Have a fantastic week, and I guess we'll see those of you on Twitter, and those of you not, we'll see you elsewhere.
Bye-bye.
Slash boo everybody.